Welcome back to another edition of Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. We like to call it the Freak Flag. Feel good, fake it till you make it. Ric Flair, woo! 512 Friday edition of Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. We got a jam-packed show for you. We'll review the last of Big 12 media days, talk about the sleeper team in the Big 12 that everybody keeps talking about. Also, a Big 12 executive takes a shot at Texas. I ain't surprised. We'll also get into the Astros, Go Stros, taking on the Angels. Shohei on the mound, the best story in sports right now, and he's going to be taking on H-Town. We'll get into it and talk about it. Also, Rangers in action too. Major League Baseball starting up the second half of the season, so we'll talk about some of the Major League Baseball storylines and Shohei being the biggest. Also, make or break years for these college football teams this season and coaches who have the most to prove in 2022. And of course, that means we'll get into some Texas football discussion. Also, NFL news, notes, and nuggets. We'll also talk about the top 10 most draftable wide receivers and also some of the top OCs. And yes, Bijan Robinson does what we all thought he was going to do, impress with the Atlanta Falcons. Before we do, let's introduce you to the rest of the crew. He was a second-round pick for the Montreal Expos, but a first-round pick for the Austin Radio Network. He originally committed to the University of Texas, but decided to forego the 40 acres and chase his dream and the cheese. Pimpin' ain't easy, but for him it's a breeze. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike Hardball Hard. What's going on, brother?
What it do, what it do? I love this 512 Freak Flag, fake it till you make it Friday.
Good
I love
F-bombs.
that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can't wait for the weekend to start, as I'm sure a lot of people are. But the one thing you must do is hydrate. Make sure you hydrate because it's going to be a hot one. But let me talk about my man that sits across from me every single day. He hails from H-Town with the Get Down. He's a lifetime Longhorn and a proud card-carrying member of DBU. Legendary lifetime and now College Football Hall of Fame Longhorn Derek Johnson said he was the best cover corner he had ever seen. He's a former NFL DB that still has that passion for film study, but he's not a fan of white condiments. But of course, he is a fan of you, the listeners. He is my man and yours, Rod Babers.
I appreciate that intro as always. Man, it always is sweet, brother. I appreciate that. Always good to get an intro. You don't get to get that every day in your life.
Man.
We're one of the few people we get intros just to go to work.
I wanted to walk around with theme music, but they said that was frowned upon.
You can do it these days.
I mean, I'm about to.
You got to put your pods in.
I'm just going to know.
I
want everybody to hear who
everybody
it is.
to hear. That's
they want to hear that
music.
intro.
Well, you can still, you got to walk around obnoxiously with your phone.
Oh,
now
yeah,
and
do
just
that
have
for,
it
like
playing.
most people, hollering at
With
each
the
other.
speaker.
Oh, man, what's going on, man? How you been? I'm like, man, I'm trying to eat a sandwich over here, bro. I don't want to know how your partner been.
True that. Let's talk to somebody who knows how to conduct themselves. He's a Renaissance man. He's got manners, got home training, got all that. He's one of the hardest working members of the ARN family. Got a hustler spirit. Period. We don't know what he's paid. We're pretty damn sure this man is underpaid. It's Patrick Davis, y'all. What's going on, Patrick?
Doing good. Always enjoy a Friday show.
Hell yeah, you damn right. Because it's the weekend officially. Everybody likes the weekend. Even when you got to work on the weekend, it still feels good for it
At
to be the
least
weekend.
you know.
Yeah, and we know some of y'all got to work, so we appreciate you joining us. You can always be a part of the show. Specs Tech Line is the best way to do it. 512-337-3776. You also can hit us up via Twitter. Harge is at Hardball Harge in the Twitterverse. My man Patrick Davis said it's Patrick Davis in the Twitterverse, and I'm at Rod Babers in the Twitterverse. All right, we'll wrap up the Big 12 Media Days discussion here in the first segment. So we'll talk a little college football, we'll throw some Texas football in there as well, and we'll talk about the sleeper team that seems to be a big topic of conversation in the college football realm to win the Big 12. So we'll get into that this segment. Next segment, we'll talk Major League Baseball, get into some of the second half storylines in Major League Baseball. Of course, Shohei, who is going to be on the mound versus the Astros, fittingly, he is the biggest storyline in Major League Baseball. So we'll talk a little Shohei, talk some Astros, preview that matchup. Rangers, Guardians. Right now, I believe Astros still only 2 games behind the Rangers in that division. So that division is right now highly competitive, at least between those two teams. And the Angels, I believe, are like 7 games.
Yeah,
out
they're right. They're in third place. They're
7, but it's a little bit of a gap between second and third with them and the Astros. But it all depends on if things can get healthy for them, or if Shohei can. I mean, Shohei is doing as much as he can do. We think he is.
Yep.
But hell, every time we say that, he ends up setting some type of historic record. So we'll talk about that coming up next segment.
And at 4:30 in the Hard Knocks Life, we're going to have Jared Sandler from
The
the
Rangers.
Rangers
Nice.
will be coming on with us, and we'll get an opportunity to ask him about the Shohei Ohtani rumors that are out there. And
Shohei.
what does he think the Rangers would have to do to pull that thing off?
Okay, yeah, all right, that's going to be at 4:30. So, yeah, we'll get your Rangers fix, your Astros fix today. We'll talk some Major League Baseball since they're starting up the second half of the season, post-All-Star break baseball action. All right, let's start off with the Big 12 Media Days review, gentlemen, because there are some controversial remarks made by, actually, a Big 12 executive. Big 12 Deputy Commissioner Tim Weiser. He was on with a couple of guys. I believe it was the KC Sports Network with those guys. John Kurtz is where I got the sound, so I'll give him credit for it. But he was on with those guys sitting down at Big 12 Media Days, and he had some comments about the departure of Texas and Oklahoma from the conference that has got Longhorn fans a little upset. Here are the comments.
I continue to maintain that the choice Texas made wasn't a financial one, because we all know what Texas resources are like. I think theirs was more about affiliating with a group of schools that on a given Saturday they would rather get beat by Alabama than they would Kansas State or Florida than Iowa State. Or, that I think was really what was driving the way they looked out down the road. And in Oklahoma's case, I'm not as convinced that was the issue for them. I think they were more of what I would call the reluctant bride that kind of felt like, wow, if we don't go, what happens to the Texas OU football game, basketball, all the things that we know from an OU and Texas standpoint are really important. So I kind of felt like if I was in Oklahoma's case, it would have been hard for me not to think about the long term, and don't we want to be affiliated with Texas and now these other schools?
All right, there you go. I actually don't mind the comment. It's a nice little. I thought it was a subtle jab at Texas. Longhorn fans don't even like subtle jabs at Texas. They like to be. They better be beat by Florida than Iowa State.
I mean, that to me was kind of like, man, what are you doing? Like, why would you say that? Again, I'm leaving you. It's over. We know it's over.
Well, he's a little bitter. And he wants you to know he's a little bitter about it.
But you're the new guy. Like, you just got here.
What's the point in why am I going to compliment Texas on the way?
Tim Weiser's not a new guy.
Oh,
Tim's
the one. Yeah,
Tim has been there since 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's probably buddies with Bob Bowlesby.
That's why.
And so he's like, those guys are so mean to us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Old regime.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
He's part of the old regime that was terrible. I don't think it's. I think he shows his ignorance by saying those guys have enough money. Why would they want to make more money? That alone as a comment is like, that's why you're an idiot.
People say that about billionaires. It's like, he's got all the money he could ever use. Why would he want more money? It's like, because
that's why they're
why would they
not?
Why would they want to help you out when they can help themselves
want
out?
More money. Yeah.
And I get it. It's just that's the thing. It's like they don't need the money. It's like, yeah, wait. Do you really think that's how the world works?
Think Elon needs all the money?
Is that why the Big 12 was suffering for so much while you were part of in charge?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's just bitter. I got no problem with it at all because
is it weird that he's bitter against Texas but apparently not against Oklahoma at all?
Yeah,
he believes
very nice to Oklahoma.
It's an insult to Oklahoma as well. He's saying, "But Oklahoma, you're a little brother in this scenario.
Yeah,
Texas basically they've influenced you and they've been able to essentially bring you along for the ride." He's essentially saying Texas was the one that spearheaded this thing, and then Oklahoma, like he said, reluctant bride. That's an insult to Oklahoma. Oklahoma has run this damn conference.
I'm like, that's what I'm saying. For somebody that's been here since 2008, like, how are you saying that about Oklahoma?
I think because that's the only way you can take a shot at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Texas, you can take the way to take a shot at Texas
you
is
could throw
Texas.
anything out
Texas is
there.
the ultimate underachiever, right? Texas got all the resources, they got the best talent, they got the best everything, facilities, and yet still can't reach the expectation level, still can't meet the standard. So
Very
easy
fair.
shot at Texas is, they lose to Iowa State.
Yeah.
They lose to K-State. That's an easy shot at Texas.
Don't I say K-State first?
Yeah, that's the obvious one.
Well, no, because he worked for K-State for 7
Oh, there
years.
you go. That's true,
so
too.
it was his where he's like,
Yeah.
no, these are my friends.
Yeah, but that's an easy shot at Texas. That's like, you're not supposed to, if you're gonna get into it with somebody and say y'all taking shots at each other, you're not supposed to pick the most obvious thing about them to make fun of. or to, you know what I mean, to criticize because, like, not in school. He picked the most obvious thing about Texas, which is Texas football program is the ultimate underachiever, which is good. We got to change that narrative. If you don't like what people are saying, change the conversation. About Oklahoma, what shot are you going to take to him? Shot you going to take at him?
You can't.
Other than, you know what, let's just take a shot that, you know, they're
You live in Oklahoma.
That's a shot.
That's your shot.
But they're the little brother in this scenario.
Yeah.
They did not even. They were unwilling participant, but they did not have enough scones, enough testicular fortitude to, you know, be steadfast and to stand strong on, you know, we want to be in the Big 12. No, they went along with Texas because they got money whipped like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's one of those, implications. That's what
Okay.
it's trying to imply.
Yeah, because I'm sitting there thinking about it. To your point, I'm like, Oklahoma pretty much runs this conference, so
It's Oklahoma's conference. in
you
football.
shouldn't be hollering at them about anything.
Yeah.
They've been carrying the torch for this thing, getting in playoffs, doing all this other stuff, but yet you're going to take another jab at them? I'm like, okay.
Well, I'll tell you, the funniest part to me about it is that he clearly took someone else's joke and told it as if it wasn't a joke.
Right.
That's what I did. Because if he laughed during it, I go, "Oh yeah, funny jab. You got us. That's a good jab." But he said it so matter of factly, and we watched the video, and he's not smiling.
No, he's not at all.
He's like, they left because they want to lose to better teams, and you're like, that's a good joke. I feel like someone else told you that joke, and you were like, yeah, that's true.
yeah.
It's like have
yeah.
a joke because even the interviewer laughs, and he's just still stone faced as he delivers it. I'm like, dude, I'd have more sympathy if you were not part of the reason we left because you were part of the Big 12 management that was killing the conference.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the broader discussion. That is the macro topic. He's just trying to oversimplify, and oversimplification is just that, you know what, Texas went to the SEC because their program's going to underachieve and they're going to lose to football programs they shouldn't lose to. They'd rather make more money while they're doing it, and they'd rather do it to more prestigious, respected, established football brands, not Iowa State.
Yeah.
And so I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad at the comment. I really am not mad at the comment at all. I get it. He's bitter.
Yeah.
Why
He
wouldn't
is
he be bitter?
definitely bitter.
They lost their two blue bloods. What are they gonna do? They're now, in terms of trying to market the conference, they are now saying they go to weeknight games, to Thursday and Friday games.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what Group of 5 conferences have to do
Yeah.
to try to get market share. He's saying now we're willing to do that. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying that's desperation.
Yeah.
They
But
know.
I'm just saying it's when Gundy takes the shot, is this the last 5 years, or this based on last 5 years, last 50? He's smiling and he's like, we get it. It's true what I'm saying, but it's a joke. Like I'm delivering it in that way,
He just bad delivery.
and that was what I was saying. It's a delivery of like, dude, you could have made this work, but you're making this seem like you're a really bitter person, as opposed to being like, oh no, we're the smart ones and we're coming out on top. You seem like you're losing this.
I agree.
Very much so.
It was a bad delivery. I get it though. Like I said,
Timing
I
is
get it, yeah.
everything,
Yeah, it was-
right?
it was-
Even
it
when
was-
you deliver the
it was
speech,
bad delivery of-
it's all
of
about
the
your
line.
timing and
'Cause
the delivery.
It was a solid line.
Yeah.
It's a solid jab.
Yeah. But he didn't bring it the right way. I agree with that.
Maybe he didn't think it was a joke though. Like that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
He
I don't
may
think he
believe
did.
it. Like it's like when y'all talk trash about the Aggies and stuff. And no, it's not a lie if you believe it, or if you believe that, you believe it. He didn't think it was funny. He just said it matter of factly.
Yeah.
Maybe he just believes that.
Yeah. I think,
That
well,
may be true. That may be true. And I don't think that he wouldn't believe it right now.
Listen, he worked for Bob Bowlesby for a long time.
Yeah.
No, okay.
there's no laughing in that office.
Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe it wasn't told in a joking way. Listen,
Maybe Bob Bowlesby was the one who told him that.
at the end of Bob Bowlesby's tenure, he was out on the grassy knoll.
Yep.
He was full on talking conspiracy theories between broadcast networks and conferences, conference commissioners and athletic directors, full on conspiracy nut. He was out there.
Yep.
And by the way, he may not have been wrong. I mean, honestly, about how
There's
everything
not a lot
transpired.
that was wrong.
You know what I mean? About it being a conspiracy behind his back. I mean, hey, it did happen right behind his back.
Yeah.
Even though he was on the same committee with Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, and had no idea about it. I'm sure Sankey was probably, acting like pulling the wool over his eyes and acting like he was his friend, buddy, in his face and behind his back. He was stealing his two blue bloods from his
Yeah.
conference.
Yeah.
Like that's that. And I think for Bob Bowlesby and maybe this guy too. I mean, maybe they believe a lot of that stuff. And by the way, like I said, it's an oversimplification, but yeah, Texas has been losing to Iowa State too much.
Yeah.
And
Quite a bit.
K-State too much. All right?
Man, but not recent.
Not recently.
Not recently.
Purple Kryptonite has not really
Yeah.
crept up on Texas recently from the K-State side.
And
It
we snuck
switched
up
over
on
to
them.
the TCU side, unfortunately. The Purple Kryptonite basically started with K-State, and then it just flipped over to TCU.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Yeah. And you know what? Listen, people are saying that he's not wrong. We may be upset as Longhorn fans because it's too, like I said,
It's too
when
real.
somebody makes fun of the most obvious, like, you know what I mean? The most obvious, whatever fault about you, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Whatever your different,
Whatever your
we all
problem
got
is.
issues.
Yeah.
We all got issues. Okay, all right. Whatever your shortcoming may be, whether it's physical or whether it's something else, financial, or whether it's something emotional, whatever it may be. When somebody pokes at it and that's the first thing they take a jab at, it seems personal.
Yeah. No, it's 100%
It gets
personal.
and the truth is, for Texas Longhorn fans, that's personal. That he basically just points out, no, they're an underachieving program. That's all
Yeah.
right. Now, would he like to have us back? Of course he would. All
Yep.
right. But Texas has underachieved. We all know that. And that's why it hurts. That's why we are all
That's
upset
why it
about
stings a little
That's
bit.
why it stings. Y'all know that's right. Y'all know why it stings. It stings because,
There's
that's
no lies
That's
being
the most
told,
obvious
right?
shortcoming of Texas sports.
Yeah.
In Texas,
Yeah.
really the university.
Yeah.
The university is awesome. The biggest shortcoming of the whole damn institution is that the football program underachieves. That's the shot you take at Texas. Austin is great. Austin is one of the pop culture meccas of America right now. People love Austin. We know this. We lived here. Now the property taxes are through the roof. All right? So everybody loves Austin. It's got a great
Leave.
economy. All the Fortune 500 companies keep moving here. That's great. University of Texas, fantastic. It's got
Austin
a lot of
FC.
good-looking people. It is great.
Yep. Pro town.
Yeah. We know. He took a shot. He basically looked at our biggest imperfection, our biggest shortcoming, and he threw it out there on the table. And Longhorn fans lost their damn mind because it's that's because it's got some truth to it. So it hurts a little bit.
Yeah, that's an underlying
supposed to
story
bring
right
that up.
there. Yeah.
Not supposed to bring that
Man,
up.
I thought you went over the line right there.
You crossed the line.
You crossed the line.
Why'd you do
That
that?
was not a safe word.
Why'd you bring up the obvious
Yeah,
thing?
yeah,
I'm
exactly.
trying to work on that.
Yeah.
I'm working on that. Right.
That
As
dude
far as
always
Sark is
wearing-
working on that right now.
That's right.
We getting better.
That's why he's over here thinking like, that's why he's walking around with his chest bowed out because he's like, if we're going to be the hunted, go, John Wick, go ahead.
Yeah. Quinn Wick. There you
Now,
go.
Quinn Wick, now we're looking at it and say, okay, if they're going to come at us like this, let's go ahead and use all of our bravado.
Yeah, I like Nate here. It's like from the Seinfeld episode, basically when George Costanza, when he's at his wit's end, he's got no good comeback. Well, I had sex with your wife. That's what Tupac did.
Yeah.
Pac got so upset
Oh,
with
yeah,
Biggie. He
good
was like,
point.
man, you know what? I banged your wife.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
like, whoa, Pac, what up? Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be playing a little wordplay here, going back and forth.
No,
You just
Pac
gonna
ain't
say I
playing
been
that.
banged your wife?
Yeah.
That essentially Pac. Before Costanza, that was Pac. I don't know which one came first, actually. I ain't gonna lie. It might be Costanza.
It might have been the same time.
I had sex with
It
your
might-
wife.
yeah.
That's how Longhorn fans feel right now. You're like, what? What did you say about the program? You know what? I had sex with your wife.
And you're like,
His wife's in a
how'd you
coma.
go there?
wife's
Yeah, his wife's in a coma. That's right. I'm like, did you know his wife's in a coma?
So it's okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can look in the mirror. We can be honest about that. But Texas, we don't expect to be down there for long.
No, it's in all reality. Part of it
Starting
too
this
was
year.
like
Starting this year.
Brett Yarmark is doing such a good job that you're like, you know what, Brett Yarmark's doing it, and then you have this guy come out and you're like, still the same old Big 12.
Yeah.
You know what?
The
That's
same old
exactly
Big 12
right.
who's just like, you guys suck. You're like, well, is your conference any good? They're like, well, you suck though.
Hey, don't. Hey, honestly, Brett Yarmark, he's so gangster and so smooth. I wouldn't doubt if he sent this dude out like, hey man, you go out there
But
and let
that's
him
what
know
I'm
how he really
saying.
feels.
I feel like Brett Yarmark.
I'm gonna keep it classy, but you need to tell him how we really feel. Nobody.
As a
even-
matter of fact,
your
go on the
stuff won't-
station on Kansas
Your stuff
radio.
won't even register. Yeah, nobody
go
won't
on
even
Kansas.
register.
That's
Go
what I
on
feel-
Kansas
Only Longhorn
radio.
fans
That's
will
what I'm
hear
saying.
it. Trust.
I feel like Brett Yarmark's at the head of the table, and he tells that as a joke, and everyone laughs at the table. And at the end, Tim's at the end. He's like, "Write that down. That's some factual information
Yeah.
that I
That's a
will read
good
off
line there.
deadpan to somebody else later."
That's just a good point.
Because that's like
That
the
I can
difference.
see.
If he said it laughing, I would laugh with him and go, "Yeah, you got us, man." But when you just say it, it's like someone taking an ex-girlfriend taking a shot at you, but without laughing. You're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's personal information."
That's right.
You gonna
That's
let
right.
that out there like a fact?
Yeah, when she makes a joke about how long you last in bed or something like
Yeah,
that.
like,
and,
well,
it's
it
like- and,
wasn't-
and she doesn't laugh. You're like, you're supposed to laugh after that because everybody wouldn't know if you're joking.
We all know you drink too much and it don't work. Well, look, all right, that like once maybe, but come on now, you know, like that's every year
Yeah.
that I
was
lose
New
to
Year's.
K-State. Come on,
I was
That
overserved.
was you. That was New Year's. I thought we were celebrating.
No, but you're right. So it's all right, Longhorn fans. If this year, if everything happens as it should, we won't. What do they say? The best revenge is to live good or to live happy, be happy, whatever it is.
No
All
matter what's going on around.
Yeah. So the best revenge against this guy, the deputy commissioner of the Big 12, Texas winning the Big 12 title, and he's gonna be there. He will be there.
So that's
he
why
can be there, and then Sark can walk on over to him and just shake his hand or something like that, and be like, "Hey, it's been great. It's been great in the Big 12, guys."
That's why
Good luck
Texas
to you.
and Oklahoma need to be playing for that championship.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Don't worry about it. If Texas gets to the Big 12 title, this guy will be right there.
Make
front
Sam
row
Ellinger
on the
present it.
sideline?
Make Sam Ellinger present it.
Well, nah, we don't want that. Because that I'm back stuff. They'll be contra that I'm back stuff.
That's what I was waiting for.
I love me some Sam Ellinger, man. That's my dog. But man, that was a bad moment now in retrospect. That moment did not age well.
No, that was
You were like, yeah. I was like, yo.
Everybody was.
But
Yeah.
no,
We were
all of us got texts
I
that
was
night
on
when
the
it
field.
happened.
I was on the field videoing.
No, we were
I was
all
on
pumped.
the field.
Bevo had punked that damn dog
Ugga.
in the pregame.
I was right there.
And then Texas goes out there, beats Georgia. Dude, everybody took that Kool-Aid and they basically were bathing in it that night. It was we were just showering in burnt orange Kool-Aid. And then and you know what? Who else was doing it?
Yeah.
The Texas football team, Sam and Tom Herman. And then the next year, we found out Texas wasn't back. We were just overserved on the Flavor Aid.
Well,
Look,
I was
we were
loving that
back
flavor
and we
aid.
left again. We were
we were like that gif of the of the Abe Simpson character.
Oh,
Where he
yeah,
walks
yeah,
right
when
into
he
the bar and he walks right on out.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was Texas' version of being back that year.
Homer Simpson.
I think it was his dad.
It was
No.
his dad.
It's his dad.
But
Homer,
I thought Homer did
dips
it
in
too.
the bush.
Oh yeah, Homer's the
Homer's the
bush.
bush that fades
Homer's
back
the
in.
bush,
Yeah,
yeah.
Those are all the memes.
Trust me, we know way too much about Simpson memes and gifs. That's
yeah.
probably the thing.
I do have a question about deputies. 'Cause I'm thinking about this. In pop culture, aren't deputies usually the joke? Like, think of it
like Barney Fife.
like Barney Fife, but most of the time it's like, oh, the deputy's kind of the idiot of the group.
Probably from the Barney Fife character, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
We just call this guy deputy from now on. He'll be good. Yes,
Deputy.
yes, sir, deputy.
You think
Yeah.
deputy equals doofus
In
a sense?
movies, I don't think in real life.
You know,
it
in
does.
movies it does.
I think
That's
in
right.
movies
Yeah,
it does.
yeah. Don't be saying that
Pop
because some
culture.
deputies
I was
probably
gonna say,
listen
we
right
got
now.
a lot of them listening to us.
I don't
every
think in
day.
real life
What?
it does.
I ain't no Barney Fife.
But
Yeah.
I think
I got a gun. You know
But
what I'm
I like that. He could be the Barney Fife of the Big 12.
Yeah.
I like that. Boom. Money.
Yeah.
All right, we'll use it. What's his name again? We got to remember this guy's name.
Tim,
Tim Weiser.
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 Yeah,
Weiser.
Weiser.
All right. We'll make sure.
ironic name.
Yeah.
No, when Texas goes to the Big 12 title game, we got to remember to bring that up. Tim Weiser.
Yeah.
'Cause he's gonna be there.
We'll be looking right at him.
They're gonna
Hi
have
there,
some footage
Deputy
of him.
Tim.
I'm like, hey,
Deputy Tim.
why don't you give out the most outstanding player in the game and the trophy?
And the trophy.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple other nuggets from Big 12 Media Days just to get back into. Texas Tech getting a lot of love, gentlemen, as the dark horse favorite of the Big 12,
Yeah.
the sleeper of the Big 12. And, man, when Texas lost to Texas Tech last season and they had 8 fourth down attempts, and they went 6 of 8 in fourth down conversions, it was not something that was isolated just to Texas. Turns out, what ended up calling him Joe Me the Money, Joey McGuire, the head coach of Texas Tech, he ended up having the most fourth down conversions in the country.
Mm-hmm.
With 52 of them in his debut season. It was the most in the country, and it was the most by any FBS team going all the way back to 2009. And they think it might be the most all time. The records for the NCAA are a little bit scattered, unfortunately. So it's hard to do the research. But nobody went for it on fourth down more than Joey McGuire. Longhorn fans know it all too well. That's why they ended up beating Texas. They went 6 of 8. In 12 games in which Tech attempted a fourth down conversion, when they went 50% or more, they were 6-1. When they had less than 50% conversion rate on fourth downs, they went 1-4. Their fourth down, how about this? Their fourth down conversions extended drives that led to 129 points. All right, that and if you go look at it, that's an average. And you go look at the points they gave up, because fourth down defense is a thing too. So when they gave up, say they didn't convert the fourth down, they led to a turnover on downs. Those drives led to 44 points.
Right.
So 85-point profit, essentially. 85 points that they had that they actually got off drives from fourth down conversions that they were able to convert. That amounts to around 6.5 points per game. Go look at the games they won. They beat Texas by 3 points in overtime, beat U of H by 3 in overtime, beat Iowa State by 4, beat OU by 3 in overtime. Dude, Joe Me the Money.
Yeah. He's not afraid.
Joe Me the Money won them like 3 games.
Yeah.
Basically what we're asking from Sark.
Thank you. I was just about
That's
to
exactly
say,
what
that's
we're
kind
asking
of the
Sark.
conversation we were having, right?
We're asking Sark, dude, go win us 1 or 2 games. The squad you built and the culture and the scheme and everything you got going, the resources, shout out to Kevin Eltife and Jay Hartzell and CDC, all that will get you 8 wins. I mean, honestly, the truth is Patrick can go over there and coach them 8 wins. I truly believe that. That's why I say you should never be a team that doesn't make a bowl game at Texas. That's an abomination. That's a tragedy at a school like Texas. I just think that you should be able to cruise control to 7, 8 wins. I need Sark to go out there and give me 3 more on his own. And that's what Joey did. Joey basically won them 4 games, this style of play, averaged 6.5 points per game extra, just based on the fourth down conversions that they attempted. And they were extreme with that concept and extreme with that belief and that ideology that, hey man, we're gonna be riverboat gamblers. And they beat Texas with that philosophy. They were 8th and 4th down defense. So they allowed 11 fourth downs to be converted against them out of 32. So think about this. Of the 84 offensive and defensive fourth downs that they either tried to convert on offense or defended on defense, they won 54 of them. They won 54 of their 84.
They doing something big.
They got them 8 wins, guys.
Well, you talked about it.
They
I mean,
got
that's the
8 wins.
one thing that we've been talking about is how many times can you get a dub? What can your coach do? Because we talk about the players. They believe in him. And he's going out there and going for it on fourth down that many times. He's saying, guys, I believe in you. Let's go get a dub. He believes in his defense, too, because if you're going for it that many times on fourth down, that means you have to believe in your defense. True or not?
Yeah.
You have to.
You have to.
And he had, top 5 player drafted, Tyree Wilson.
Top 7 is.
Top 7, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, but then he ended up shutting it down. But he still believed in his team.
Still believed in his
he
team.
believed in the play calling. He believed in everything that was the execution of it all. He believed in it. Got you 2 wins. We've been asking for 2 wins. We believe that Sark is going to have to coach up 2 wins. And I believe he can do it.
I'm with you. But that just showed me that's why they love Joey McGuire there. They know.
Yep.
Man, this guy won us some games. Now, they did have some luck on their side, guys, because how about this? Of total fumbles that were on the ground for the defense to recover and for the offense, so their own fumbles and opposing fumbles, they recovered 22 out of 33. They were one of 3 teams to rank among the top 20 in FBS in recovering their own fumbles and opponent fumbles. There's only 3 teams that were top 20 in both recovering their own fumbles and their opposing team's fumbles. Remember, against Texas, they recovered 3 of 3.
Yep.
They recovered 2 they fumbled on offense, and then, of course, the Bijan Robinson fumble at the end of the game was the game winner.
Yep.
So it could go either way with Tech this year. That's a lot of luck. The ball bounces. It bounces a lot of weird ways, man. And it bounced Tech's way last year, but they made their own luck.
They
Joey
created
McGuire.
it.
All right, Joe Me the Money. They made their own luck a lot of times, especially against Texas. So if they say God helps those that help themselves, that's Joey McGuire in a nutshell. I think he's a minister as well. He believes he is an ordained minister, if I'm not mistaken.
Joey McGuire?
I think so. I want to say somebody told me that.
Oh.
I want to say
Is he ordained like I'm ordained, or is he ordained like he actually went through some stuff?
I don't know. I probably shouldn't repeat it because I heard it from not even probably a reputable source. I got to go check that. Texas Tech fans, let me know if that's made up.
You know they're going to let you know.
Yeah. Somebody told me. I was like, what, really?
They're going to send over amen.
Either way. But my point is, anyway, he was praying to the football gods.
Right.
And they like Joey McGuire. So there you go. That's what make them stand out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was-
he's ordained like I'm ordained, I think.
Oh, like a little.
Yeah, he's officiating
online?
weddings. He's officiating
Oh, like
weddings, but
online
I don't
kind of
think
thing?
he's holding sermons.
Well, of course not. Well,
Well,
maybe in the
that's-
locker room. Hey,
But,
it runs through Lubbock.
It runs through Lubbock.
That was a sermon.
It was.
He got a lot of people that tied and offer after that sermon.
He's officiated weddings.
Okay.
So he is ordained in that sense.
Nate says, I'm ordained too then. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. I think
There's a
somebody
couple
asked,
people that are.
asked him about it at Big 12 Media Days or
Yeah.
something.
No,
like
it's
that.
it's online. It says ordained.
Okay.
I've officiated weddings. He's officiated
So
weddings.
you
It's
are
possible.
ordained as well?
Yeah.
I got ordained during. I got
I know
ordained.
like 4 other people that are ordained.
No, I did it over when everything was locked down. My friend's wedding basically got postponed, but they didn't want it.
Oh, that's right.
So I got it so I could marry them basically in
Oh,
a really
nice.
small ceremony
Okay.
and get it done. So for tax purposes and everything else, they could be a married couple.
Yeah.
2 years before they would have actually been able to get married.
Oh, nice. Good for you. Okay. All right. There you go. How long is that
Awesome.
process? Just simple?
Oh, 35 minutes.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Oh.
Oh, it's online.
Oh, man. They should make it a little tougher than that.
No. Nah.
It just pay a little fee.
Why you think all them people in Vegas?
Now, everybody's ordained
they-
now.
Them people in Vegas. That's why they
Okay.
got the Vegas places. It's ordained.
It's ordained. All right. We'll talk some more about Big 12 Media Days later on in the show. All right. Let's get to Astros and Rangers and some of the big storylines coming up in the second half of Major League Baseball right here on Ball Don't Lie, 104.9 The Horn.
Mike Harge here, and I want to talk to you about my friends over at Quick Roofing. Right now, it is smoldering hot, but those guys are still working hard for you. So do me a favor and reach out. Make sure you give them some water when they come over to see you, but make sure you reach out to my friends over at Quick Roofing. Go to quickroofing.com today. You get a free no-obligation inspection. Quick Roofing also requires a project manager on every job site, ensuring that you, the customer, get everything that you were promised. Quick Roofing is fully insured and have all state and local licenses. Quick Roofing doesn't even require any money up front until 100% completion and, of course, 100% satisfaction. And with all that, you get a 7-year workmanship warranty. So what are you waiting for? Reach out today and get that free inspection. Go to quickroofing.com today. That is quickroofing.com.
Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. It is a 512 Friday edition of Ball Don't Lie. That's when Patrick the Idillionaire, he plays jams from local bands and artists, very talented human beings that you have a chance to catch live right here in the ATX. Who we jamming right now, Patrick?
This is Tinted Vision, and they are playing tonight at the ABGB.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like this groove. This is a nice little groove to this.
Yeah, I can definitely I can put this on my phone.
Yeah, this
You
is
good.
Yeah, I could put this
Yeah,
on
no,
my
I'm
this is
with you.
called People Watching Blues.
People
People
watching blues.
watching blues. Is it about what I think it's about? People watching?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like this band, this is a young band too. These guys, I think when they wrote this, they were all still in high school.
That is fantastic. People watching blues. I want to check that out.
Yeah.
I like the term of that. I like that. I wonder if the lyrics match up with what I think the lyrics are about. Because if it is, that's creative as you know what. But who knows? All right, there you go. My man Patrick always keeping us on our toes on a 512 Friday. So we appreciate all of his efforts. Hopefully, there's a great effort from the Astros tonight. Go Astros! They're taking on the Angels, and Shohei's on the mound.
Yep.
Can the people watch?
MLB Network.
Yes.
That's
okay.
where you're at.
It'll be
All right.
blocked out here.
Son of
Well, not if you don't have if you don't have the
If you're within like 600, 700 miles of Houston,
man.
it's yeah. They
Sorry for you guys.
This is
MLB
an
Network
issue.
blacks out pretty much.
It's an
Blacks
issue.
out
It's-
everything. It's
I
terrible.
got all the channels that I would be able to watch all of them games.
See,
So
this is a
I'm
true
good.
seam head here.
Yeah, I'm like I can watch baseball.
I'm good. I
gonna
don't know
watch
what
it.
y'all gonna do.
Yeah,
I know-
I'll be watching them late night tonight. And I did find out ESPN is playing them on Sunday.
Yes, yeah, they're on Sunday. I know,
But you won't see Shohei on the mound.
I
You'll see him
know.
at the plate, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like when
Yeah.
he's on the mound, bro,
Yeah.
that's
the
when
game.
yeah, that's the prime timer.
Yeah, that's
what
the
are we
game.
doing, mate? Bro,
Yeah.
Manfred, I'm the one who compliments you.
You did.
Come on, man.
You are very
Go and
complimentary of him.
Get Shohei on prime time every time he's on the mound. That
Yep,
is,
I agree.
That's got to happen. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's get to speaking of Shohei, you might as well just continue the discussion. So, how about this? This little nugget about Shohei. It says that right now Shohei's been worse so far this season, 6.5 wins above replacement. The WAR stat per Baseball Reference. 4.0 as a hitter, 2.5 as a pitcher. That sum puts him on pace for 11.6 wins above replacement
Yeah.
for the full season. If he produces 11 wins above replacement, he'd become the first player to do so in more than 2 decades. Pedro Martinez is the last pitcher to reach that threshold, 11.7 in 2000. And Barry Bonds.
Oh, yeah.
Is the last such position player to do so in 2002 when he had 11.7 wins above replacement. Yeah.
Yeah, we're watching something that a lot of people who were able to see a Babe Ruth play, this is something that those people were part of his lifetime. You know, we're getting an opportunity to see that. We have my boy Marcus Timms on talking about Shohei
Yeah, that was
and
nice.
what he brings to the table every single day, the way he goes about his work. We're still talking about the fact that he doesn't take BP on the field.
Isn't that amazing?
That's crazy to me.
Just walks out there.
Yeah.
By the way, go check out the interview, folks. HornFM.com. Was
Yeah.
that Wednesday? What was that?
It was Monday.
It was Monday.
Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was first part of the
Yes.
All-Star break.
Thank you.
It
So
was first part
go
of the
check that
broadcast.
out. HornFM.com, the Hard Knock Life at HornFM.com. It was really good stuff. As a matter of fact, you can hear Marcus Timms on Monday talking about Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, two of the best
Yep.
hitters in the game. And then was it Tuesday or
Tuesday,
Wednesday?
we had Tayshaun Thomas on.
Yeah.
Talking about
Teammate, a former teammate of
Wimby.
Wimby. Yeah.
Wimby.
Yeah, so Hard
Yama.
really opened up the contact list for the folks to let us hear some really inside info, some inside information on some of the biggest sports stories in the country right now.
Yeah.
Getting back to if Ohtani, say he gets to 12, which would be just, you're talking about in another universe. That would make him otherworldly. If he has 12 wins above replacement, which is just, like I said, rarefied air, since integration, the only pitchers to post a 12 WAR wins above replacement season are Dwight Gooden in 1985, 12.2, Steve Carlton in 1972, 12.1, and the only position player to do so would be Carl Yastrzemski,
Yeah.
12.4 in 1967.
My boy Mikey is probably running his car off the side of the road, excited because you just brought up Carl Yastrzemski. He's always texting me. He's like, you don't need to talk about anybody but Carl Yastrzemski. He's the best hitter ever. I'm like, you're a Red Sox fan. I thought Ted Williams would be at. Him too. Yaz is the best.
Carl Yastrzemski.
Yeah.
I just like saying his name.
Yeah.
We should say his name more.
Yeah.
Shohei is putting himself in, some elite company. There's no question about it. He's going to be on the mound for the Angels tonight against the Astros. And the Astros actually, I believe, was it France that they're going to have on the mound? I believe.
No, I think it's Framber Valdez. I thought he was going to pitch tonight.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I believe it is him
Okay.
tonight.
They might have switched it up then.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be awesome because I thought he was going the second.
No,
game.
it is JP France. I
Is it
thought they
France?
said Framber was going to pitch game one. Dusty was probably like, nah, man, I'm not going to use you against Shohei.
Oh,
I'm going to flip that on you because
I believe
this is a
point.
tougher game than tomorrow.
Okay.
Every game is a tough game in the big leagues, but you trying to go out there and have a quality start, runs might be at a premium in this game tonight. So Dusty was probably like, hey, JP France, go out there and get your work in. Go do what you need to do because this might be one of those games where it comes down to late. Let's just go ahead and get Framber tomorrow and let him go.
And remember, Framber missed his last start as well before the All-Star break. They kept him out as precautionary, I believe. That it wasn't a major injury, but they were just like, we're just going to basically skip your start.
Yeah, Framber's tomorrow for sure. And then Sunday night, I'm looking to see who's going to be the starter. It's going to be Christian Javier, which is really good for you.
Yeah.
And remember, there's no Mike Trout either.
Yes. I mean, right
Or
now.
Rendon.
Or Rendon.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
Angels are struggling. I mean, they're
limping.
Yeah, they really are. They're 7 games out of first right now, but they lost 5 straight prior to the All-Star break. And they got swept by the Padres and the Dodgers in their final All-Star break action. They just, in their most recent game that past Saturday, they lost by a 10-5 final to the Dodgers. And Shohei showed out, but he's about the only one. They're fading fast. Remember, at one point, they were second. They took
were
over
right
second
there.
place in the division, and they started to fade fast right now. And I think the Astros are about to start trending in the right direction. They're getting healthier. I think the Angels are unfortunately suffering from a lot of injuries. So I think that gap between 2 and 3 in that division is going to get a little bit wider.
Well, I think also, too,
especially after this series.
Derek Jeter even brought this up in one of the broadcasts. The Angels will miss a huge opportunity if they don't find a way to trade Shohei Ohtani.
And by the way, they're not third anymore. They're fourth. The Mariners
they
have
dropped
passed them
the
as well.
Mariners. The Mariners just popped them.
Yeah.
So, they're now fourth in that division.
Their playoff hopes are pretty much done.
Yeah, they're 45 and 46 now. The Mariners are 45 and 44. Obviously, the Astros 50 and 41, and the Rangers 52 and 39. But Derek Jeter did bring up the fact they said if there's an opportunity to get a trade done, this is the time to do it. And if they don't do it, they're going to mess up their fortunes because he has an opportunity to walk at the end of the year with you getting nothing.
Yeah, I mean, and
you have to take an opportunity to go out there and make the offer beautiful enough. And other teams, too. If you want to make a run, and we're going to talk to Jared Sandler about this, I'm going to ask him, because I know the minor leagues for the Rangers, they got pitching, they have position players, they have opportunities to move some guys to the Angels that can help their farm system and in their big leagues to grow. Because that's the thing that they're missing. They don't have a lot. As you see, that's why they keep losing.
Yeah.
You have two of the best.
And you have some stuff that for the Angels, if you have a logjam at second base or shortstop because you have guys that you're paying a lot of money, and you're like, look, these minor league guys ain't coming up for 4 or 5 years at least because we're paying Simeon, because we're paying Seager, we're paying these guys. So if we have second baseman shortstops that the Angels don't necessarily have those guys, maybe we can get some of those guys that are not going to be playing for us anytime soon, send them off in a trade.
Absolutely.
And that way it's not really hurting us because those guys, we're going to trade them off later anyway.
If you're going to get AA and AAA players, you need to make sure you can sell those assets away, but you need to make sure that your lower levels are even better. They drafted well.
Yeah.
They drafted well, and they've been doing some good things, but you got to make sure those rookie ball, A-ball, and maybe some of your AAs are ready to go when that moves.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I can't wait till we talk to Jared Sadler and ask him about Shohei, but also, man, the Rangers in the second half of the season. If they can be close to as hot in the second half as they were to start the first half. Man, the Rangers could be sitting pretty in that division. We'll talk some more about Shohei, he's still got the lead in home runs, right, with 32?
32.
And he also has the lead in opposing batting average with 189.
Yeah, he's nasty, man.
Man, it is just.
He's kind of ridiculous.
I can't wait to watch him. I almost feel bad watching him because I'm be giddy about watching Shohei, but also rooting for the Astros.
No, that's what it's supposed to be.
Can't help but get giddy when he makes a play, and it's like, dang, it's just that good. All right, we come back. We got the flex on the other side, so we'll get to that on the other side right here on Ball Don't Lie on 104.9 The Horn. What's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers here. Austin is a beautiful city. We all know it. That's why we all call it home. Part of the reason for the unique aesthetic appeal is the skilled craftsmanship of ironworkers, Local 482. They've been helping shape Greater Austin for a long time, since 1935. And you see the labors of their love all over this great city in exquisite, iconic landmarks that you may be driving past right now and not even know it, like DKR Stadium and the Pennybacker Bridge. And as our city continues to grow and thrive, so does Ironworkers Local Union 482. They don't go to the office, they build it. So if you're looking for an exciting new career, maybe you're frustrated with your work choices and your career path and you want something new, something fresh, something that will challenge you, or maybe you just want to be valued as an employee, you can become a valued member of Ironworkers Local 482 and accept the challenge of becoming the best version of yourself while helping shape Austin's economic development. Right now, they're hiring over 3,000 people for a huge project right here in Central Texas, and you can become a valued member of this prestigious organization, and you can take pride in the type of teamwork and craftsmanship that helps shape the future of our great city. So maximize your potential and be your best self today. Simply apply. Go online at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org. All right, welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. 512 Friday. That's when Patrick, the Idealionaire, he takes songs from different artists, very talented human beings, and he plays those songs for us on a 512 Friday. And he lets you know exactly how you can see these very talented individuals. Who we jamming right now, Patrick?
This is Being Dead, and they're playing tonight at Sagebrush.
Being Dead.
Being Dead.
Okay, there you go. All right. The music's pretty lively for Being Dead.
The song's called Daydream.
Right, okay, there you go. I like that. All right, there you go. My man Patrick always hooking us up on a 512 Friday, so we appreciate his efforts. We also appreciate the efforts of the Flex crew, so go check out their work at flxatx.com, FLXATX on all of your social media platforms. They're getting ready for the Flex watch list. All right, they're getting ready for the Flex watch list. They're going to release that next week. So make sure you stay tuned and make sure that you're checking out flxatx.com because they'll have their all Flex watch list for the best football players in the Flex area to keep your eyes on. And by the way, I'm sure they're going to miss some. All right, even last year, I remember
Yep.
we had the Flex watch list.
Big debate.
Big debate. And then by the end of the season, I think we end up adding, I don't know how many people throughout the season, 10 to 15 different people throughout the season.
Because just if you're on it in the beginning don't mean you're going to be on it at the end.
Exactly.
So you got to make sure you go out there and show and prove as you're supposed to do. I do want to give a shout-out to one of the lifetime Longhorns, Terrell Brown. His daughter, Takila, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Takila Brown.
Okay.
She has committed to LSU to play volleyball. So
nice.
she's a baller as well. You know them jeans run deep. So she congratulations to her. She is a Weiss. I think they're the Wolves.
I think
Weiss
you're right
Wolves.
about that.
Yeah, Weiss Wolves. You know, my kid's going to Hendrickson, so we don't know what the other mascots
What,
are.
you're the Hawks?
Yeah, we the Hawks.
Henderson
man.
Hawks out there?
Them double H's out there. You know what I'm saying? Hard ball, hard, double H's. There we go.
So both of them going to end up going to the same high school? Your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
So
All
we
right.
out there.
Yeah, all right, you can represent. Also representing is my man Anthony Williams. Also does a great job
Yes.
representing for the young people out there.
A-Dub.
Yes, he's having an under the lights skills showcase. It's going to be July 20th, Thursday. You can go to TexasFootballShowcase.com for showcase.com for more details. You can go check that out. Or for more info, you can contact A. Williams at connectathletics.org or just go to the Flex website. Go to flxatx.com. And they do have the information up there for you. So it's alignment and skill positions only showcase. And that's going to be in Round Rock. It's also going to be at the Round Rock, I think, Mega Complex there.
Yeah, it's Round Rock
Multi-purpose
multi-purpose
complex
Yeah,
there. So you can go check. That's going to be starting at 5 p.m. You can find out more details. Just go to flxatx.com and say it's Thursday, July 20th, the Under the Lights Skills Showcase. All
Yeah,
right.
we might get Anthony Williams on next week. So,
Yes.
To
Yeah.
talk about this.
No doubt. Yeah.
Yep.
You still got time. It's Thursday, so you
Yep.
got a little next Thursday, so you got a little time. But you can always reach out to him. He's at awilliams at connectathletics.org.
Yep.
I believe that's how you reach out to him. All right, we'll come back. We'll get into some NFL. Actually, we'll talk college football. Flip it. We're going to talk college football. Make or break years for college football teams. Coaches who have the most to prove in 2022. And Sark did not make this list.
Come on, man. I like
that
it.
was intriguing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how accurate the list is. I think everybody agrees Sark's got a lot to prove.
What is this, Pro Football Focus?
All over the place.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Joe DeCamillis and his role. My man Chip Brown broke out a nice piece about Joe DeCamillis and what his role is going to be with Texas.
Yep.
And Quinn Ewers over-unders. They got some Quinn Ewers betting
I like it.
numbers out there and some betting odds based on his statistical projections for the 2023 season. We'll get into that coming up, too. All that and more right here on Ball Don't Lie on 104.9 The Horn. Wow. 512 Friday. This is what it's all about right here. This is when I need Patrick to tell me the name of the song and the name of the artist so I can write it down and I can download it so that I can enjoy it later on. That's what 512 Fridays are really about. But also, Patrick the Idillionaire will let you know where these very talented human beings are performing so that you can go watch them live and in person. Who we jamming right now, Patrick?
This is the Soul Supporters.
The Soul Supporters.
And they are playing tonight at Seaboys alongside Tomar and the FCs. Going to be a good show out there tonight at Seaboys.
See, but what's the name of this jam?
Damn You.
Oh, well done. Okay. I'm telling they got a download from Rob B coming up later on.
There you go.
They can have my $1.50 or whatever it is. It's worth it. That's that's how you know. You know what? No, I will make sure they get the bread. I won't go try to steal it. I won't give it to the artist, okay? That's how we do.
Yep.
I got Apple Music. I can just put it on the playlist, but no, I'm gonna buy it. Because I need them to get the bread. I don't know how much they get on. I'm sure Steve Jobs still probably in his grave.
Still
Probably taking 50, 60% of it. It's all good. We want to support the artists. That's what 512 Friday is all about. So thanks to Patrick and all of his hard work. 512-337-3776. That's the number to the Specs text line. Also, you can hit us up via Twitter. My man Harge is at Hardball Harge in the Twitterverse. Patrick Davis said it's Patrick Davis. I'm at Rod Babers. And Harge, he's been opening up the contact list all week long, hooking y'all up, and he's doing it again.
For my Texas Rangers fans, I know that you're all excited. You had 6 Texas Rangers on the field at the same time during the All-Star game, which I think they said the last time that happened was 1951.
Come on now.
So for that to happen, that's outstanding. So we're going to talk to Jared Sandler as they get ready to take on the Cleveland Guardians tonight. Jared's going to jump on at 4:30 with us.
We'll make some extra time for that for Rangers fans so we can ask them a lot of questions. So we'll get out a little bit earlier for this first segment so we can talk a ton of Rangers baseball. My man Chan, okay, Chan wanted to know what the title of the song was. Damn You, for y'all that want to know. Damn You.
Yep.
The Soul Supporters. No, it's one of those that stands out. It's like, oh man, that's a really cool song.
Really cool song.
Thanks to my man Patrick for 512 Friday. Let's get to some Longhorn football discussion here. We'll talk some college football overall, but we'll talk some Longhorn football. Of course, we always bring it from the macro to the micro. How about this? Shout out to Inside Texas, man. They've been doing a really good job. They've just been just killing it lately. And they had this piece about Quinn Ewers, and it's basically taken from the Vegas odds makers. And they put together a piece from the projections of Quinn Ewers. There are some projections about Quinn Ewers' numbers and his stats, and they have betting lines, of course, on these stats. Shout out to my man Paul Wadlington, who put this together. So here's the over-under on Quinn Ewers' total passing yards. Total passing yards for 2023, 3,000. And a half, actually. 3,000. They put that half on there. The little hook. And it said minus 115 for that. Will he go over or under 3,000 and a half passing yards, I guess?
I think he'll go over 3,000 yards.
I do, too.
The reason why? All them weapons.
Yeah, it's only, that's like 240 something yards.
Yeah.
All right, a little under 250 passing yards per game. I think that should be, because there'll be some games where he's prolific.
Right.
We assume he's going to have 2 or 3, right? 300 plus games.
Oh, for sure.
We assume that.
I would think that, especially again with the offense that we expect this team to run. The way Sark calls plays, the fact that you don't have a Bijan and a Rojo behind you.
Exactly.
So,
and we assume you're going to play in a Big 12 title game. That means you got more games.
Got one more game.
So we got 14 games with a bowl game.
Yep.
Man, of course he's going. That's easy money.
Yep.
I'm ready to go place a bet on that.
Oh, come on now, Rod. Don't do that to yourself,
That's
boy.
easy. No, okay, let's assume Texas has a really bad season. Don't make to the Big 12 title game. But they're definitely going to go to a bowl game, worst case scenario.
Yeah, that's 250 yards per game.
So they're playing third. Yeah, he's definitely going to do that.
Yeah. That's a good pick.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Go ahead and do it.
You want me to do it?
I'll do it. You want me to pull it up for you?
I'll do it for you.
I'll do it for you.
Injury, though.
Yeah. They always do that. And like they said, we got to see if he can hit that deep ball, baby.
No.
Yeah. You know. I like it, though.
The injury stuff worries me more than the deep ball accuracy, actually.
That's very fair.
Because when's the last time he played a full season?
Yeah, when is the last
His sophomore year in high school? I'm serious. I'm asking the question. You got to go back to
because he ended up getting hurt his junior year a little bit.
I think he got a little banged up his junior year, and then he didn't play his senior year, right?
Yep.
He moved on.
Yep.
So he didn't play. When's the last time he played a full season? Sophomore year?
He's about to be a first-round pick. They're going over 3,000 and a half.
I know, but we're breaking down the bet here. I like the texture. Texture says, but injury factors in too, and they're right. I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, if he misses, take this into account because one Big 12 quarterback last season started every game for their team. That was Hunter Deckers of Iowa State.
And he's built different.
There are only two.
He's a little thicker.
He is a little thicker.
Yep.
Only two quarterbacks of all the FBS teams in the state of Texas. What are there 13 of them? 12 or 13, something like that? Ended up playing all the games for their school. So the chances are, and we go look at the recent history of Texas football. I mean, recent history tell you, how many times has one since 1999, going all the way back to when Mac first got here, how many times has a quarterback started every game for Texas? Like 6 times?
Nope.
Like 6 or 7 times?
Total.
It's been like 6 or 7 times.
Was Colt. Colt started every game.
Sims did it in 2002. You know, it ain't happened a lot.
Right. That's why we can go out there and
VY did it in 05.
Yeah.
Colt did it 8 and 9. Like I said, but we can go down the list right now and it wouldn't be hard. My point is, I think it's about 7 of them. Something like that. CBO said it in very soon.
Yeah.
My point is, there's a good chance we're going to see Malik.
Yeah.
One way or another. Hopefully it's, not for a long time, because that would mean either Quinn Ewers didn't perform well and got benched, or he was hurt for a long time, so a really bad injury. So knock on wood, that's not the case. Hopefully it's just a game or whatever, something like that, or just some relief action. But you're going to see Malik. So that's a good point. I mean, it's just you don't see a Texas quarterback start every game.
Right.
That's just rare. But I'm with you. I still think they're going to get over 3,000.
Oh, yeah. I'm in on that. In on that. But the biggest thing, to your point, is health. It's health. That one game that he may miss, that 2 games that he may miss, will throw off your whole vibe. So, yeah, I'm with you on that.
And yes,
I'm not placing that bet.
You're not gonna do it.
I'm not gonna do it.
You're not gonna do it
because you talked me out of it.
I talked you.
You talked me out of it, man.
No, seriously. But he hasn't played a full season for a long time.
Yeah.
So the deep ball. So bring up the deep ball. Yes, the deep ball is inaccurate. Texas, I believe, last season completed 27% of their deep balls as a team, and that's not good. Quinn Ewers was at 23%. So yes, got to get better on deep. But I think they will, because I think part of that was forcing X-Man to play the role of deep man, the deep ball. So the deep ball asset or the deep ball threat. Him being the vertical threat almost typecast him into the wrong role. He's a feature wide receiver, and I think now that they have Jonte Cook and they got A.D. Mitchell and they have Isaiah Nayor, they got so many other guys that can be that deep ball threat. They won't be trying to force and typecast Xavier Worthy into that role.
Yeah.
Because last year, guys, except for him, for X-Man, that was a we love X-Man. I think X-Man was the best receiver in the Big 12 and has that type of ability. But there's no doubt last year was a serious regression. The injury was part of it too, but I just don't think he was focused.
Right.
He wasn't focused
at all.
He wasn't focused.
No.
Yeah.
I think
he wasn't focused.
I'll ride with you on that.
Yeah, he wasn't focused. When that guy's focused, and I hear that he's focused now. I heard that
That's
now.
what we've been waiting on.
Yeah, that it's a crystallized focus. But last year, I'll give you the numbers, guys. Of the 30 most targeted FBS wide receivers last year, and Xavier Worthy among that group, he had the 3rd lowest completion percentage when targeted. He had the lowest single season receiving yards among that group, 3rd lowest yards per target among that group, and the fewest receiving yards per game among that group. That's not good. That basically these are featured wide receivers around the country. The premier featured wide receivers, he arguably had the worst season of all the featured wide receivers around the country. We're talking about the 30 most targeted FBS wide receivers, and he arguably had the worst season of them all.
Wow.
That's what those numbers tell me. He will bounce back from that, but that's also something if they don't remedy that issue, because a lot of that is Sark force-feeding the football to X-Man when he's double covered, predetermined throws within the offense instead of having a quarterback that can go through progressions. A lot of things play a role in that. Sark I need that deep ball, chasing that deep ball, baby, giving that deep ball. Him having to play with that type of aggressive mindset all the time instead of, taking what the defense is giving you and instead of working with the quick game, the intermediate game, and then utilizing the deep ball, he likes to work backwards almost. The deep ball first, then work the intermediate, and then work the quick game. That's not really the way I think this offense should be built, especially with a guy like J.T. Sanders.
No.
Man, you should build from the quick game to the deep ball, not from the deep ball backwards. And that's the way Coach Steven likes to work.
Right.
That.
Well, he's fixing to change that. I think he went back and looked at how things have changed, where he messed up at, and I think that because of the things that you said about X-Man coming back, being ready to go, sounding like a guy that is healthy and driven for the next level, and then you bring in the fact, too, that Sark had to revamp himself, self-evaluation.
Hope so.
Seeing where he missed out on it. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, no question. The other Quinn Ewers over-under projection here is his total touchdown passes. They got him at 25.5. 25.5.
I think it still goes back to what we were talking about.
The injuries.
It goes back to the injury. Should we believe if all things are health and everything he's a healthy player, he's over 3,500 yards and he's over 25.5 touchdowns. If he's a healthy player. There's no doubt about it in my mind, especially because of the way that Sark has us drinking not Flavor Aid. I'm actually drinking Kool-Aid.
Well,
I'm not even spiking it. I'm not even spiking it.
You don't know if it's Kool-Aid. That's the whole thing. You don't know if it's
until the product is finished.
Exactly. You think it's Kool-Aid.
Presented to me as
Y'all
Kool-Aid.
were drinking Kool-Aid last year, and then Texas Tech ended up revealing to y'all it was Flavor Aid.
Oh, man, he went straight to the
West
Tech
Texas
part.
Pirates was like, oh, y'all thought it was Kool-Aid. No, it's still Flavor Aid.
Dang, he got us.
Boom.
Yeah,
and then Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy was like, oh yeah, I know you thought it was Kool-Aid. Flavor Aid again.
Yeah.
It's Flavor Aid.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got
him. So
you
don't realize that it ain't Kool-Aid right now.
Touché.
It all tastes the same to you. You can't tell the top shelf from the bottom shelf stuff until a little bit later on. Then you get the hangover hit you and you go, oh, that was definitely not top shelf.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
So we won't know. We won't know.
I'm glad you brought it back to that.
You won't know to that first loss to somebody you wasn't supposed to lose to. But then the point of drinking you drink it, you won't know if it's Kool-Aid or Flavor Aid. If it turns out that it's never revealed to be Flavor Aid, then you know it was Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
If you never have that loss to Oklahoma State
what's
or
our
Texas
revealing
Tech
factors?
or Washington,
you
don't never have that loss, and then you go, oh, you know what? It's Kool-Aid, baby. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
And then it's the loss that reveals, oh, that's just Flavor Aid again. Damn it.
Yeah.
So we won't know.
That's a good point. Well,
Iowa State comes up and beats you next year, you go, damn it. I thought it was the good Kool-Aid. I thought it was the red stuff.
Well, I thought it was because of the simple fact that he is so much better now. Matt Campbell's such a great coach. If Iowa State beats us, they got Hunter Deckers. He started all games.
You throw excuses out there if you want to, but I thought it was the all gas, no excuses.
It is 1,000%.
That's right.
And I'm bought in.
So basically,
I'm bought into what the premise of what I'm supposed to be drinking is.
We've all stated, we've all decided as a collective fandom.
Yep.
No excuses are going to be able to explain away a disappointing season.
Agreed.
A single-digit win season.
Agreed.
No moral victories.
No more
right?
victories.
So there's no
We're past that.
Yeah. So once you get to single digit, there's no excuses. Like oh man, they knew the signals. Oh, aside from all your quarterbacks getting hurt, even Malik being in there, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna give you a pass for that one.
Yeah.
Malik, there are a lot of teams out there right now going, hey man, we wish he could be our starting quarterback. I think Alabama wishes he could be their starting quarterback right now. You're not getting a pass if something happens to Quinn or Quinn underachieves. Sorry. Malik, it looks like he could easily handle the burden of being the starting quarterback at Texas. Did you see the shoulders?
Yeah.
And he's got the strongest arm. He's good.
Yeah.
He's got enough raw materials for Sark to work with. There is nothing that's going to stop this runaway hype train from crashing into, basically right at the doorstep of Steve Sarkisian.
But not falling for it.
That's it.
That's it. We're all in. We've already decided, like you said, as a collective fan base.
We already decided.
We're in.
That's why it says no excuses. Like, nah, sorry. But what about no? There's no excuses.
Yeah.
That's literally the whole point of it. He's like, no, there's no excuses. Don't call making excuses. This is the season that will decide if you're a Sark believer
Yeah.
or if you're a Sark hater. You will get all the evidence you need to support your argument this season. If you're a Sark believer and then Sark goes and wins the Big 12 title, you'll go, see, told you Sark was a
y'all.
dog.
Yeah.
He's a beast, man. He about to take over college football. Y'all better watch out.
Yeah.
And if he underachieves and gets to 8, 9 wins, and we'll go, see, he'll never get to double-digit wins. He'll never be a championship coach. You're an idiot of a program for believing that he would finally, at Texas, he's going to blossom and he's going to flourish. He's going to go from being some type of, he'll just go from being some mediocre coach, underrated coach, to finally coming out of his shell, his cocoon at Texas. It's like, what? You guys are wishful thinking.
Very much so.
You'll get all that evidence you need. There's no in-between for him. There's nothing. There is no middle ground. It's sad. There's no middle ground. Y'all know it. There's no middle ground. And the Texas says, Rod, if we win game 2, I'm having sex with the Kool-Aid man. But he has to be burnt orange and not red. No, I agree. That hype train. If they beat Alabama, which, by the way, they can.
It definitely can.
They have a real shot at beating Alabama. They beat Alabama.
Yep.
And then he goes and loses to Iowa State or TCU. Y'all going to be even more upset. Because then you'll be able to see the actual ceiling. You'll be able to see the actual, capability and ability of this team and their achievement level. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to also see the bottom. And Longhorn fans
we don't want to see the bottom.
It's hard for them to reconcile that.
Yeah, you don't want to ever see the bottom.
I think it's great. I love it. I love the hype train. Is probably it's going as fast as it's ever gone in the last 13 years. 2009 is probably the last time the hype train had this much speed in the offseason.
Oh man, this is a runaway train. What did we say it was? Denzel's movie.
Mm-hmm.
Golly, I forgot the name of Denzel's movie where the train was runaway.
Oh, Pelham 1, 2, 3.
No, it's not that one.
Oh,
God, Patrick told us it the last time, too.
Oh, the one in the subway? Is that the one? Which
no,
one
this one is the runaway actual train where it's on the tracks and you're thinking it's going to go. Unstoppable.
Ah.
Yeah. That's the Denzel movie that I've been thinking about with this train, this hype train that we've been on.
Unstoppable?
Unstoppable.
Well.
And then, but you have to stop it.
No.
Because they had cut the brakes off of it.
I don't want it to be stopped.
It just keep going.
I want it to go all the way to its destination, and then we'll worry about stopping it. And the destination is championship.
There it is. Okay.
Just go all the way to Championshipville.
I got you.
All right?
I'm with
go
it.
all the way. That's where you need to go. Unless it gets derailed and falls off a cliff off a mountainside somewhere, or it crashes into the side of a mountain because you lost to Iowa State or Texas Tech again.
I'm more worried about Baylor.
or Baylor or David Randall the Monk.
Yes.
He comes up to get you.
He's
and by
prepared.
the way, Big 12 refs are not going to be very sympathetic to your cause.
At all.
Just understand it now. So if you got multiple opponents you got to face every game. And there's no excuses. So don't go back, the refs, they got us again. The refs, we know this.
Yep.
You cannot go into the season saying the refs, the refs are going to screw us. We know this already. We've talked about this.
Nothing new.
That cannot be an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
You know the refs are going to be against you, so teach your guys to play with more discipline. Period.
Yeah. I got you.
I don't want the excuses. I don't give a damn if it's 13 penalties to 0. I don't care. You still could have won that Oklahoma State game. You still should have won it. We all know you should have won it because you should have put in a different quarterback, but you didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because feelings matter more than W's, and that's fine. Hopefully those feelings now, they have become more confident, and now your quarterback he's a leader, and he can go out there and win you some games. But you did choose feelings that game over Dubs. We do remember, but it's okay because you're our coach. It's okay. But this year, you cannot choose the feelings of your player over wins for the program.
You cannot. And that's something that I think you should have already done that because there's a lot of people that are ready for dubs as opposed to feelings. At this stage of the game, you can't put feelings into the mix. At this stage in the game, especially when you're supposed to be that level, you can't do that anymore. It's all about wins. People are spending way too much money for L's.
VY got benched.
Yes.
Nobody's above being benched.
Thank you, sir.
VY, Chris Sims, Major Applewhite. They all got benched.
The list goes on.
It just goes
Exactly.
on. All the greats. They had a little good
Chance
benching.
Mock.
Good benching, man. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with it.
5-star.
Yeah, you come
Yeah.
back stronger. No big deal.
Yeah.
Someone says when the Longhorns go undefeated, I will jump into the kiddie pool of Jello. I guess you're gonna make Jello shots from the Kool-Aid. I got
we're
you.
gonna be- yeah,
a
we're
kiddie pool
definitely-
of the Kool-Aid there.
Yeah.
No, I try. Longhorn fans, they are hyped this year. I get it. Trust me, I'm all in too. But like I said, there's no room for there's no middle ground.
Yeah.
That's really not a lot of margin for error and excuses for Steve Sarkisian. It's all about it's a clearly defined goal: championships and double-digit wins. You don't reach either of those things, it's considered a disappointment.
I would agree with that.
Everybody knows that.
I would definitely agree with that.
And I don't want him to change it at the end of the season, too, if they fail to meet that. He should say, yeah, it's a disappointment. It is. Remember, I love Sam Ellinger, but he did that once. They won like 7, 8 games. He's like, nah, it wasn't a disappointing season. He's like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was, bro.
You sorry. You can
7
say it.
is not the
7,
number.
You can say that. You can say it was.
Because I failed you every
You can say it.
year
You can say it.
when I take the over
You can say
on the
it.
over-under for Texas wins.
Except one year.
Except for 1 year.
Bam, bam, Sam.
There it is.
2018.
Don't give the Giannis speech after the playoffs this year.
Oh,
No, there is no. I mean, this is a learning situation. I am learning. You can there's wins and there's learning. I just want to
There's
learn.
no losing. Wins and learning. Boom.
Yeah, sometimes you got to learn.
Oh, that'd be a classic
losing.
line.
Exactly.
If Sark delivered that one, that'd go right up there with winning is hard, man. That's not losing, guys. Just winning and learning.
Yeah, we just learned something. There you
we're
go.
like, oh,
Be like,
man.
ooh.
Make the T-shirts right now. I can see the Aggies right now. Winning and learning. Okay. There's no losing? Oh, man. All right. What you got coming up on Hard Knock Life?
We got our man Jared Sandler going to talk a little bit about what he saw in the first half and what his expectations are in the second half of this Major League Baseball season when it comes to the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, they're sky high at the moment considering
they
how
are.
they finished the first half of the season. So talking Rangers baseball with Jared Sandler on the other side during Hard Knock Live right here on Ball Don't Lie 104.9 The Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers here. As I get a little bit older, I realize I'm getting a little bit wiser. And as I get wiser, I realize some things I got to leave in the past. I'm ready to leave some things in the past, like the Big 12, even though I had our last Big 12 media days, social distancing, cancel culture. But one thing I'll never be ready to leave in the past is my favorite beer. That's Bud Light. And now just the weekend is the perfect time to break out the Bud Light because the weekend's all about good times. And that's what Bud Light's all about, turning good times into great times and the rest of the times into the best of times. And I've been drinking Bud Light since my days on the 40 acres on 36th Street, my playing days in the NFL. And now just to decompress after a long, hard day, or maybe to reward myself after a nice day of yard work, or just to try to beat the Texas heat with a nice ice cold Bud Light. Either way, always a good reason to pop the top on a Bud Light. Still my go-to beer for my Longhorn tailgates on Saturdays and NFL Sundays. So whether you want to toast and cheers to a brighter tomorrow or drown your sorrows, it's never a bad time to break out the Bud Light. It isn't just for anybody, it's for everybody. So remember, folks, you want to get the good times going, just keep that Bud Light flowing. There's going to be a lot of Bud Light flowing for me this weekend, and it should be for you as well. Bud Light, brewed deep in the heart of Texas, by Texans, for Texans, and damn proud of it.
Welcome back to a 512 edition of Ball Don't Lie. It's your boy Hardball Hard. You can follow me on Twitter at Hardball Hard. You can follow my man Rod Babers at Rod Babers. And, of course, you can follow the man behind the glass at It's Patrick Davis. We also love it when you're a part of the show. Hit us up on the Specs text line, 512-337-3776. And joining us right now on the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina hotline is a man that you can hear on 1260 and 101.9. when you are listening to your Rangers baseball game. He is the voice of the Rangers. It's my man, Jared Sandler. Jared, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're
Doing great,
good.
brother.
We're
Thanks
good.
for joining us.
I appreciate you jumping on with us. I know you're on doing everything, getting ready for the ball game tonight. But we wanted to ask you, number one, how was your break? And did you enjoy yourself with the little All-Star break?
Nice.
I had a good time. I was with my wife's family, so some in-laws time, and you can read into that however you'd like. I'm not going to make any specific comments beyond that. But there were, good time. I always like time on the couch during the season, but I'm not going to complain. Got away for a little bit, and my wife puts up with a lot. She is a big trooper with this tough baseball schedule, and so to be able to spend some time with her and get to do some things that she wanted to do was fun. So I had a good time, but I'll tell you what, it was tough. You know, the Rangers did not play well going into the break.
Right.
And, you know, one of the beauties of baseball is that, you know, you pretty much always play the next day. But to kind of go through the All-Star break with the Rangers, with the arrow pointing down, a little bit eager to get back on the field and hopefully watch them get the arrow pointing in the right direction starting tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought that up because you're right. Most of the time you get another chance to go right back out there and try to right the wrongs. But the All-Star break came, but there were 6 All-Stars that continued to play and got to enjoy the festivities from the home run derby. And then at one point you had all 6 All-Stars on the field at the same time. My only complaint was I didn't like it that Eovaldi was having to talk to them in the booth while he was trying to deliver a pitch. But other than that was outstanding. I was glad to see that for the Rangers.
Yeah, that was tough, right? I'm glad he was able to get out of that inning without giving up any runs. But that was so cool. And, you know, I think of it through the lens of, like, a younger me growing up as a Rangers fan and, you know, all the young Rangers fans out there who got to watch the beginning of the All-Star game with the introductions and seeing – you know, the Rangers roll out there and, you know, such a big group. I mean, for me, I'm not saying I don't enjoy the game, but my favorite part of the All-Star game is the introductions. I don't know why. I've always found that to be most enjoyable. I think the game can drag. I'm glad that the Rangers were all in there early before the game did drag. But I just think about, like, all the young Rangers fans who got to watch the game and, you know, have some level of pride, like, yeah, that's my favorite team. And they've got 5 starters, and they've got 6 guys playing at once, and you know that's my team. And just I think that's really neat. And I know, like, my nephews are 10 and 12, and they're big Rangers fans, and they were so geeked up, and I just think that stuff's really neat. So I'm glad the Rangers got to represent themselves in that way. It would have been nice if one of the guys would have gotten a hit, but you got that scoreless inning from Eovaldi. Adolis made the nice play, and Jonah threw a guy out. So it was cool to see them do their thing, and hopefully they can have a similar representation next year when the Rangers host the All-Star game.
Hey, Jared, I know a great way to, really get some brand new Rangers fans on deck. It's just trade for Shohei Ohtani. A lot of people are talking about that. Is this realistic discussion for the Rangers?
You know, I think it's realistic in the sense that if the Angels were to trade Ohtani, it would not be for, just a couple of prospects, right? And I don't think there are a lot of teams that have the type of farm system or roster to make that type of a move. But that said, I don't see the Rangers being on the receiving end of that trade if the Angels were to trade Ohtani. And I think it's a really difficult decision for Artie Moreno, and really he's the one making the call. That's not Perry Manassian. It's Artie Moreno. He's going to have to sign off on it, the Angels owner. And, there's a lot of financials involved there because of all the money that Shohei Ohtani brings in sponsorship dollars. And my understanding is if they were to trade him, part of those sponsorship contracts would have to be refunded because of 2 months in an Angels uniform. And I think that there are a lot of tough decisions. But to me, from the immediate for the Angels, the immediate blowback of trading Ohtani won't matter if in 5 years 2 or 3 guys that they get back from that trade are impacting their big league club. And that's a really tough pill to swallow, but I think it would be a missed opportunity if the Angels didn't make the move. But I think the fair question to ask is, what is the right price? Because he is putting together one of the greatest, maybe the greatest season in baseball history, but he's a rental. And so, to what degree are you going to mortgage your future to get a guy who you're only guaranteed to have for 2 months and then the postseason, however long that run is for whichever team acquires him?
But do you go out there and say, you know what, I just want to win this year, and we'll deal with the fallback later? Because we got opportunities right there.
Yeah, I think for certain teams it makes more sense than for others. And, guys, I'll be the first to tell you that you can talk about windows, you can talk about, how long you feel like you're going to be competitive, but the opportunity to win a World Series, an NBA championship, a Super Bowl, a Stanley Cup, they are few and far between for every organization, and certainly some more than others. And for the Rangers, an organization that has never won, it means, I don't want to say it means a little more, but there's a little bit of a different feel. With that said, if I'm, and I don't know, I'll say this, I don't know year to year what the exchange rate is in the trade market. It changes. There really is no such thing as precedent because every year takes on its own personality. But my guess is if the Angels were to trade Ohtani to the Rangers, Ezekiel Duran or Josh Young would be going to Anaheim. And that would not be the end of the list either. One of those guys, probably Evan Carter and probably Brock Porter. So right now you're talking about one of the best young players in Major League Baseball, whether it's Young or Duran, your best position player prospect in Evan Carter, and your best pitching prospect, according to some, in Brock Porter. And so I don't know if I'm making that move because if the Rangers win the World Series, yes, then it's worth it. Anything is worth it. I would trade anything.
Right.
And if the World Series is the end result, then you're pumped about it. You feel good about it, and whatever happens, happens. But you guys know this. It's not a guarantee. And right now the Rangers, it's not even a guarantee they win the division, right? That's going to be a dogfight. So I think because of where they are, this is not a year like the Yankees, for instance. If the Yankees don't win this year, every year the Yankees don't win right now with the guys they have, it is a huge disappointment.
Yep.
They're in a different position than the Rangers are. The Rangers, I don't think, are in a position where it would make sense for them to mortgage their future for 2 months of Ohtani based on what the price tag, I think, will take to get him.
Yeah, that's a steep price too.
Yeah.
It's a very steep price. We're talking to the voice of the Texas Rangers, our man Jarrett Sandler. You can follow him at Jarrett Sandler on Twitter. Well, let's get right into it. No Shohei, but you have everybody else there. You are getting ready to open up the second half of the season, and you got 7 guys that have double-digit home runs. You've had 6 All-Stars, but you said it. You were limping down the stretch to be ready for this season. What are your expectations heading into the second half of the season, and who do you expect to continue to help carry the load?
Yeah, I think the All-Star break was huge. It's I think, important for every team, but the Rangers had a really rough stretch leading into the All-Star break. They had played 30 games in 31 days. They were the only team in the American League to have just one off day over that stretch, including just about 2 weeks of straight games leading into the All-Star break. So I think the All-Star break will be huge in allowing them to recharge. And, I don't expect anything to change in terms of Corey Seager's production, but, they really need to, get the Silver Slugger type of stretch from Nathaniel Lowe that they got last year. He at times was carrying that lineup, and he's got the ability to do it. I think that's going to be, a really important part. And then getting Marcus Semien to turn things back around. He's had a rough last few weeks. And, Adolis Garcia was starting to turn things around leading into the break. So I think they're going to be okay. The key, though, guys, is it's the bullpen. Those are there are spots to be filled. There are jobs to be won. Some of that will be between now and the trade deadline, but to some degree that's going to have to be addressed internally. The Rangers can't go out and trade for 5 relievers, I don't think. And so they need someone to join Will Smith, step up and help Chris Young and help this organization address some of those needs. I think with a better bullpen, that would have a double effect and help out this rotation in a major way to try and maybe give these guys a little bit of rest and not feeling the burden of a thin bullpen down the stretch as they start to build up innings.
Yeah, that's going to be something to pay attention to because we were talking about Shohei Ohtani, but obviously there's some other guys that are out there that you may not have to give up those type of prospects to go out there and get. You know, even though you got some rentals that you may see out there, it might be worth it just because you're going to need some help down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of guys out there, you know, whether it's, you know, rentals or, you know, I look at Pittsburgh, and I don't know if Pittsburgh's going to be willing to make moves, but guys like David Bednar and Mitch Keller, not going to be cheap, but, you know, those are guys who are both controllable. They're both all-stars. You know, you're willing to maybe give up a little bit for, you know, that pairing. But there are a ton of guys, and there are a ton of teams right now that maybe today they're not sure whether they're going to sell or not, but a lot of those decisions will be made here in the next week or two. But, you know, a team like the Cardinals now, it looks like they're going to be willing to sell. The White Sox obviously are in that group. You know, what are the Angels going to do? Because it's not just Ohtani. The Angels have some sellable pieces if they decide to go in that direction. And so, you know, if you're a Rangers fan, you should root, and you know, an Astros fan as well, you should root for all the bad teams to continue. No, you stop it, Rod. Was that right? I don't know if that was
yeah,
Rod.
that was. You were 100%. You were 100% correct.
Don't think I didn't catch that. But you should hope for the teams that are kind of in that gray area or just below that to lose. You know, you want in a weird way, you want the good teams to continue to win and the bad teams to lose so that the bad teams have a more clear understanding. Guys out there, the better, you know, it becomes a better buyer's market. And for a team like the Rangers who might need to make multiple moves, it makes it way more palatable. There are a lot of guys out there. In my dream scenario that is maybe kind of on the fringe of getting those two. Keller, who's an all-star starting pitcher, and I think that would go a long way towards helping the Rangers get to where they want to go.
You cut out just a second, but who did you say your dream scenario would be?
Yeah, David Bednar, the all-star closer for the Pirates, and Mitch Keller, who's an all-star starting pitcher for the Pirates. It's not going to be cheap, but if you can pry away those two guys, you're going to have them for this year and the next few years. And I think that would be the type of move that would make a lot of sense for the Rangers if they were going to spend some of their prospect capital.
Yeah, I like that. I like that scenario. Before we let you go, I wanted to ask you about it. The Rangers kind of got lucky. A player fell to them in the draft in a Wyatt Langford. What were your thoughts when you saw that he fell to the Texas Rangers? Obviously, it's a ways away, but the talent is obvious.
Yeah, no, for sure. And, you know, I think it's realistic. I wouldn't set this expectation, and anything less is a disappointment, but I think it's realistic that, you know, you see him late next year. You know, if he has a pretty smooth transition to professional baseball, he's a super exciting talent. I mean, his numbers at Florida, which, you know, they're playing an incredibly tough conference, they're silly. Like it just
yeah.
And he did it. You know, after starting in Florida as a catcher, he's really grown to be a good outfielder. Super, you know, he's got great athleticism. So this is someone, you know, the Rangers right now, they've got a lot of obviously really good players in their lineup. What they don't have is that like 40 home run guy. And Wyatt Langford projects to be someone who could have that type of an impact. He's got the best power in college baseball, and it'll be fun to watch him start to take some swings once the Rangers get that contract all squared away.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really excited for him, and I was glad to see that the Rangers got an opportunity to draft him because he is very exciting. Jared, we know that you're getting ready to call a game. Make sure that you have a good call, and I will see you on Tuesday, buddy. I'm going to be up there for the game, so I'll text you and let you know that I'm in the house.
Oh, shizzle.
Let's do it. Looking forward to it. I'll see you, fellas.
Thanks, Jared. You the man.
Thanks, Jared. There he is. August 1st is the trade deadline, folks, so there's a lot that will be going on up until that point. You look at all the things that are happening. pay attention to the buyers and the sellers because there will be a bunch of them. August 1st is the deadline.
Yeah, I mean, all eyes on Shohei
For sure.
and what's going to happen there.
Yep.
Just don't know how it's going to. Just don't know how that's going to resolve itself. I mean, are they going to? Is it
They
possible
have
the
to
Angels
do
will try to
something.
keep him?
No, they
Can they
For
try? Can they?
for what?
I
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
I agree.
Like,
'cause
I agree.
It ain't work. You had Mike Trout and him all these years and still couldn't make the playoffs.
Right.
So I'm with you. I
And
think
it's like, why would you want to do
Yeah,
it? It
I agree.
can't be just for the attraction anymore.
he is the biggest attraction in sports. Though.
So it's and he said, I want to play for a winner.
He needs to play for a winner. We
Yeah.
all baseball.
Mike
needs to
Trout
play for a
needs to
winner.
play for a winner.
Yeah, we've given up on Mike Trout though.
Nah,
Just because
but-
Mike Trout, no, because his personality.
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily want to demand those types of things. Like he's not gonna say.
I think he's getting to that point in his career,
Is he?
though.
How much-
I think so.
how much time does he have left on his contract?
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. He's been getting injured a lot too. So for him and his legacy, he's looking at it as if, man, I do need to win. He's hearing how people talk about Charles Barkley. He's hearing about how people always make fun of the guys that didn't win it.
Yep.
You were great, but what did you do? I mean, Ken Griffey Jr., I mean, he's one of those guys. He's the best player in the game, but I don't remember him winning anything.
No.
So, and it probably bugs him. It
It
bugs,
should.
you know what I'm saying?
It
It
should.
probably run. And Griff was going around to different teams, and now it's like, okay, Mike Trout, you've been loyal long enough. There's an opportunity for you to go to another team, and you want to be
You
able.
think if they trade Ohtani, they'll think about trading Trout?
They would
after
have
that?
to.
Just because
Yeah.
it's a fire sale, we're going to rebuild. Let's get all the
You gotta
assets
get out
we
of-
can.
Yeah, and those are the prime assets.
Well, and there's a big difference because Trout is not a rental. Trout is under contract till
I'm
2031.
about to say he's
Right.
under contract for a while.
So yeah, he signed a 12-year deal in
Yep.
2019. So he is
I'm
around
sure
for a
there's some
long
outs in
time.
there.
No, but if you trade him,
Yeah.
he can go to another
can
team,
be-
and it's
yeah.
not a rental. You're
Yeah.
like, oh no, this
you
guy's
got
under
him.
contract.
Yeah, you got him.
That's a good
So,
point.
yeah, it's gonna be something to pay attention to, especially for the Angels, who we've talked about ad nauseum about how they have the best players, but they can't win no games. You went out there and spent a lot of money on Rendon as well after he was the World Series champion, and he's been hurt. He's hurt again.
No, they are. No, I'm serious. They
So
are.
they
one of
gotta get off these contracts.
the Angels are one of the biggest mysteries in sports as to how they could not win. Not,
Right.
Basically, couldn't even make the postseason.
Right.
Couldn't even get to the postseason.
I think what Mike
They're
Trout has
fourth
played
in their division.
with the two best players, arguably, or two of the best.
7 games behind.
And the
Best
only
players in
reason they're not
baseball.
fifth is because Oakland is specifically trying to suck.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's very, very true. Now Oakland called up a couple of new prospects right now, so they go. Well, it's just to get their feet wet.
Yeah, well,
Go ahead and play the second
we
half.
know what's
but I
happening.
heard that they're guys. So.
We know how that story ends.
Yeah, we know how that.
They
was.
heading to Vegas. Nothing wrong with that. All right,
Right.
there you go. Good Hearts Knock Life there. Jared Sandler, thanks to him, the play-by-play voice of the Texas Rangers, for joining us and breaking down some Rangers discussion. All right, we come back. We'll get into a little off the record. There are multiple off the record stories we got to get to, gentlemen.
I like it.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Oops, I did it again?
No,
or
ain't
just,
no oops.
it wasn't an oops at that?
Come on, that mug out there. He wildin'.
Somebody get some tubes tied, or
No, man.
somebody get something cut or snipped.
It's not in their DNA.
Where's Dr. Dick Chop when you need him?
No, he
Come
ain't out
on,
there.
man. This is crazy.
My doctor, Dr. Mystery.
He got
Yeah.
he gonna have 10 of them
10.
by the same woman
Strong with it.
from the same orifice. Anyway, all right, let's get out of here. Let's come back. I had no other word. I was looking for. A
I was
word.
like, huh? I was waiting for you to see where you was gonna go.
That's the only one I can say without getting canceled. All right, we come back. We'll get into Valdo Live off the record right here on 104 The Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers here. Let me tell you about my favorite tequila. It is Hot Cat Tequila, and especially now, it is the weekend. That means as soon as I get home, I can have me a shot of Hot Cat Tequila. It's a great way to decompress and get the weekend started the right way. The cat stands for cinnamon, agave, and tequila, and the recipe is just as simple and just as delicious. It's just cinnamon, agave, nectar, and tequila. That's why it's so light. That's why it's so smooth. It's every tequila lover's dream, and if you're not a fan of tequila, Hot Cat Tequila is so good, it'll turn you into a fan of tequila. How about this, folks? I actually had some friends of mine over to the house, some neighbors actually, broke out the Hot Cat Tequila. They told me they were not fans of tequila, didn't like it. I said, all right, just try it. Turns out they do like Hot Cat. They don't like tequila, but they like Hot Cat, and I don't blame them. I'm a tequila man. I love me some Hot Cat, and trust me, folks, you will too. Hot Cat will turn any event into a party, and every party feels like a celebration, so celebrate and turn up with Hot Cat Tequila. Once you try Hot Cat, you'll never ever go back to that old cinnamon whiskey or that cheap tequila you order rounds of when you were just trying to get the party started. So turn up your party with Hot Cat Tequila. It's the perfect way to pregame for all the big games, concerts, festivals, or any night on the town with family and friends. Best served cold for a quick round of shots or to sip on the rocks. So visit Cat Tequila, that's cattequila.com, to find a store near you that sells Hot Cat Tequila or to find a bar near you that serves Hot Cat Tequila. Toast and turn up with Hot Cat Tequila. All right, welcome back to another edition of off the record here on Ball Don't Lie on 104.9 The Horn. Couple of stories that I want to get to here. The first one we referenced, and I'm sure by now everyone's heard of it. Phillip Rivers and his wife are expecting their 10th child. That's right, their 10th. He's been working hard. Every time, I mean...
He's been working hard.
Every time he goes home, because he's been... How long did he play in the league?
Oh, wow.
Like 15 years or something like that?
A long time.
I mean, damn near every time damn near every offseason, I think they got a kid to explain every offseason pretty much what they were doing.
Because he dives into the playbook.
I thought he was coaching.
No, well, I mean, he's
Yeah,
still doing the playbook.
He's a high school football coach.
Yeah.
His third season at St. Michael Catholic in Fairhope, Alabama.
Yeah.
Wow. He was a 17-year vet.
Yeah, he's got his that's a lot of kids.
Somebody
man.
need to get something snipped or tied.
Yeah, well,
It's about that time. I mean, maybe he's a fruitful and multiply guy. Some people actually part of their belief system. They believe you should have as many kids as possible. Nick Cannon's one of those people.
he's just trying to populate the world.
Well, yeah, some people they really believe it's part of their belief. Elon Musk is one of these people.
Yeah,
Elon
he
Musk
did say
is
that.
no,
He did say that.
I truly believe we should be populating the earth. More human beings is good for the planet, good for everything. They want to throw it out there. You could argue against it. I'm just saying that's their belief system. Some people, it's ingrained in them. They actually do want to populate. Now, Elon Musk,
My man got
he's a
7
billionaire.
girls and 2 boys.
I know. Wow. Man.
Yeah.
What's the 10th one gonna be? We don't know that yet.
I'm looking to see what it
They
says,
don't know?
but it didn't
Hopefully.
say for sure.
He needs-
I
he
wonder
needs
if they're going to do a gender reveal.
No, I don't think so. I ain't that tired of it. They did that for the first few. Then after that, they were like, "We good."
Can you
Let it
imagine
surprise us.
if you're like the Rivers family dentist or the Rivers family doctor or something? They alone
Yeah.
bought you a boat.
Yes. Yep. Just that family alone. If you're a family practitioner, you don't really
Yes.
need other families.
No, I'm the Rivers.
Because once they start having
I'm the
kids,
Rivers.
once they start having kids, you
Yeah.
could be a family practitioner to their kid. Really, they
He
can
does
keep you
have
in
a
business.
21-year-old.
That's what I'm saying.
Her name is Haley. He's got an 18-year-old named Caroline, 17-year-old named Grace,
Wow.
15-year-old named Gunner, 13-year-old named Sarah, 11-year-old named Peter, 9-year-old named Rebecca, 7-year-old named Claire, and a 4-year-old named Anna.
I mean, I was that poor lady. I'd be like, man, we adopted this next. Are we gonna get a
Can
surrogate?
we get a surrogate?
Have they had surrogates though? Are these all her from her?
That's a great question.
I
I'm
would
not
say
sure.
some of these got to be surrogates. This poor lady, and he's got the money to do it. Can we spare this woman's body? I mean,
She may be the one that's saying, hey, I want to have more.
yeah, but you can have them other ways other than
No, she wants the process.
she wants to just damage the body that much.
Let me ask you
it's
this.
really
Sometimes the
hard to have a
process.
baby, man. It's hard on
when
your
she
body.
comes in and the first baby, when it's like, baby, we're having a baby, and it's all nice and romantic and
What-
sweet, and by the 10th, is it like, hey, baby?
You get a text, another one.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, they
shoots,
know.
he scores.
She said, well, she says DJ Khaled memes to him. He's like,
And
another one.
No, but to Patrick's point, they gotta be, like I said, nobody's using birth control here. Nobody's
Obviously not.
Nobody's tying any tubes or snipping anything. So they know what they're doing.
Exactly.
They're
And-
getting
and-
after it, and they're like, they're trying to, this is them planning their family. They want this.
And the separation is 3 years, 2 years, 2 years,
Yeah.
2 years, 2 years.
She's basically
2
like, I
years,
need 2 years
2
for my
years.
body to recover.
Right.
And then I'm ready to go. And I'm like, man, get a surrogate.
Yep.
Go adopt a kid or something.
And they've known each other since they were in high school.
That poor body. Just a woman. Her body. She's really resilient. Like I
Yeah.
just don't. That's a lot to. It's like throwing a hot dog down the hallway.
Oh, my goodness. Like, what in the wide world of sports was going on?
What is happening? Come on, man.
my
10 of them.
goodness. Oh,
How does
my
it
God.
get back to the other ways?
Hey, there
I know.
is doctors that are out there.
Oh, you got some surgery too. You
There's
can get
definitely some
get
surgery.
that tightened up.
Yes.
You can get it like
I was
tightened
at,
up.
what do you think the last time she slept is?
That's a great point. There's always a newborn in the house.
There's always one.
Well, I know your old kids take care of newborns though.
Yep.
You know that everybody
Yeah,
know.
they got built-in
when you
babysitters.
got big families know like, oh no, basically I grew up taking care of my little brothers and sisters.
Right.
That's part of that's why you have a lot of kids like that. Basically, when you have so many kids like that, you stop doing chores and everything. You just got your own little team.
And-
They all do it everything.
And
They
Phillip
do it all.
Rivers doesn't cuss. After 10, you should be cussing a lot.
He's
Yeah.
he's never
I've been
cussed.
cussing since 1.
He never cussed.
My first one.
You like Bebe's kids.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm tired of y'all.
Man, 10
Yeah.
of them. All right.
10 of them.
That's a blessing, though, if you can have kids like
No
that.
doubt.
Because a lot of people, it's tough to even have kids, and he's just like pumping them out. They fertile
No doubt.
myrtle.
And like I said,
Fertile
they've
myrtle
been
over
together
there.
since high school. She followed him to NC State. They got married after their freshman year.
Was she his first?
I mean, he don't cuss.
He's very devoted to his religion.
Yes,
I
he
wonder if
is.
she's his first. I mean, that's none of my business.
Both of them.
Just something I
Maybe
wonder.
both of them.
Yeah, it could be that.
Yep.
That's a beautiful story,
Yeah,
though.
it is.
Well, he needs to he needs to find other ways.
No, man.
Yeah, he like.
When she gets surgery,
I think they need.
She's a new person.
Should he get snipped or should she get her tubes tied? Which one?
Because
both.
I know
jumped
this.
out
Yeah,
there
I go
right
with
away.
both at this point.
I was saying we need to come. We got to nip this
Yeah.
in the
They
bud.
need separate bedrooms at
Yeah,
this point.
exactly.
Come on.
Like Lucy and Desi. Like I love Lucy. Let's separate these two because they can't be. They love each other. And with all
Very
them kids in the
fertile.
house, they still getting it on.
Yes.
all the time. That's awesome. Good for them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Most people, they have too many
it's
kids.
a challenge. It's a
Look
challenge,
at
bro.
the way Hart said it. He meant it. He's like, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Harge, I think it's a little bit easier. I think it's a little bit easier in like a 20-bedroom house.
Yes,
That
true.
is true.
That's very
Or
true.
you can play like, you can hide from the kids and just
That
get,
is
a
very
quickie.
true.
Hey,
in.
y'all stay in the left wing.
Yeah. That is
Y'all come
very
over to
true.
the right wing's lava. Right wing's
Yeah.
lava.
That's a good point. It's
I
right.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone said that's 7.5 years of pregnancy. Damn.
That is.
I know that's a great point. She likes it though. It's
Obviously.
obvious she likes it. She gets
She
a little high
does
from it.
like it.
It's like she gets
She
a little high
does
from it.
like
I
it.
know. My wife's sister was like that. Like she liked it. She had 5. She loves it. She's like her
I
thing.
know. Oof.
And had them like right back after one, like back to back. That's
That's where I could say that I messed up.
you should have had them back
I
to
should have
back.
had them back to back.
Back to back.
Back to back. Like
I think
Drake.
that's wifey's decision though. It's her like body.
Well, but
She's
I mean,
wearing
no,
that. That man's like, we should.
don't
I
be
think we
coming
should have
after
had
me
it back to
7
back.
years later.
I know. But
Talking
still,
about let's do it again.
You doing the easy part. Like,
Yeah.
I think we should have had them back to back. And
think
all you
so, man.
do is what?
Yeah. I'm the chosen one, dog.
We should have had them back to back.
I was the chosen one.
I love men. Men are awesome. You know what? I think it's time for us to have another one. Oh, really? You do?
Yeah.
Are you gonna carry this thing for
Yeah.
damn near 10 months?
See,
Nope.
somebody said me and my wife are trying to have one more so we can have a starting basketball team.
How tall are you and your wife? Don't be trying to both your 5'8", 5'9".
You might be doing an equestrian team.
All right, we come back. We'll get into more college football news, notes, and nuggets right here on Ball Don't Lie 149. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. It is a 512 Friday edition of Ball Don't Lie. That's when Patrick the Idillionaire, he takes jams from local bands and artists, very talented human beings that you have a chance to catch live right here in the ATX. Who are we jamming right now, Patrick?
This is High Desert Queen, and they're playing Saturday at the Far Out Lounge.
All right, there you go. 512 Friday, one of the great musically themed days of the week from my man Patrick Davis, who we appreciate all of his efforts. We'll get to some college football discussion here, a little Texas football discussion as well. Wrap up the rest of the Big 12 Media Days discussion and reviewing what happened at Big 12 Media Days. And also Raj Round the Day coming up next segment. We'll just continue our conversation about Texas football. We'll continue that coming up next segment. I got a couple of nuggets I want to share about research I'm doing for the season, but I'll share that with you guys coming up in Raj Rant of the Day. All right, a couple of stories that I want to hit here before we get to some Big 12 review, and we'll get to talking about Texas football, the Joe DeCamillis basic acquisition of him being a special assistant on the special teams side of the ball. We'll get to that, and the Quinn Ewers over-unders for his projection for some of his stats. We'll get to that too. But make or break years for different college football teams. This was a piece from 247 Sports, I should say. They actually made a list of teams in college football this upcoming season who are basically down to make or break seasons, make or break mode entering 2023. And yeah, this teams wouldn't surprise you on this list. I'll just kind of go through it before we get to the teams we're going to discuss. Missouri's on this list. Consecutive 6-win seasons. They talk about that. West Virginia. So my man Har's been talking about he doesn't expect Neil Brown to make it through the season, and I think a lot of people agree with you because they were picked to finish last by the media in the Big 12. So
and he was not happy about that.
What did he say about it? Did he talk some trash?
Yeah, he did. He was like, well, I don't think that's right. You know what I'm saying? I think we're a lot better than what people are going to think. And
okay, who you better than, Coach? That's what I'm like.
Exactly.
I started to ask, who you better than, Coach?
Well, he probably thinks Cincinnati.
Okay.
He might think that, so he may not be at the very bottom. You know
I just said I wouldn't be last.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, that's pretty crazy to say we're gonna be last. We'll be second to last at least.
Exactly.
We'll be 11th, somewhere around there.
I don't think that's right.
Michigan State's on here too. Oh yeah, I can see that. Mel Tucker, the shine has definitely worn off of Mel Tucker.
Yeah.
Now he did not have a long shine at all. Florida is on this list. I actually like Billy Napier. I think he's going to get it together.
And he literally just got there.
He did just get there.
Like he literally
like
just
2 years
got
ago,
there.
right? Because Texas played against him when he was at
Louisiana.
Lafayette,
Yeah.
and that was Sark's first year, was it not?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I think he'll get it together though. I like Billy Napier as a coach, but yeah, they've had their struggles his first couple of years there. Mm-hmm. But Texas A&M makes the list, gentlemen.
I think
the
that's
Aggies
fair.
make the list. Yeah, it is fair. Because it says here Texas A&M enters 2023 navigating the aftermath of its first losing season of the Fisher era and the mass exodus of talent via the transfer portal that followed. The Aggies were 5-7 despite a preseason top 10 ranking and the nation's number 1 ranked 2022 recruiting class. And woes on the offensive side of the ball plagued the team throughout. The hire of offensive coordinator Bobby Petrino needs to pay dividends, or confidence in Fisher and his staff will continue to erode. Yeah, it's all about whether he's going to let Bobby Petrino call the plays or not. From what I'm told, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Not, even those close to both Bobby Petrino and Jimbo Fisher, they don't know. It could go either way. He could start off calling the plays, Bobby Petrino, and then Jimbo Fisher could become displeased with it and take it away from him. He could start off with Jimbo Fisher calling his own plays, and then that could obviously become a bit frustrating. And then maybe they hit a bit of a stalemate, and then maybe he hands it over to Bobby Petrino. Nobody has any idea how it's going to play out.
Right.
No.
And the thing about it is, and this is the question that I wanted to ask yesterday when we played Olin Buchanan talking about how this is a big year for Steve Sarkisian. This is a big year for Jimbo Fisher.
It is.
Like, there are fans that are so restless right now that they are definitely looking at that buyout, and smart by his agent and smart by Jimbo, not smart by A&M to have such a big buyout number. This is a big year for Jimbo Fisher, and the expectations of Aggieland is rising even more so. We talked about Coach Sark in the recruiting classes and
Mm-hmm.
how Texas. This is what he's done. He's recruited well at Texas A&M.
Oh, yeah, talent's not the issue.
The talent is not the issue. Just
not the
like
issue.
it is here, everybody's talking about what's going on the sideline. What is going to happen, and you just brought it up,
Mm-hmm.
what is that dynamic going to be between Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino? That can be combustible, or it could be great.
I was going to say, it could be awesome, though,
It
man.
could be awesome. No
could,
doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
They
I'm
can
not
make
gonna
some
put that past them.
They can make some sweet music together.
Absolutely.
But like you said, also, it could be highly volatile. It
Exactly.
could blow up in their face.
So I'm more interested in looking at that and saying, everybody wants to talk about Texas, but Texas A&M also has had a great recruiting class. They talked about it. They had a top 10 preseason ranking last year. What ended up happening? They were number 1 in recruiting class in 22. What's ended up happening? We will see this year, but that is the place that I think the most heat should be on. I still don't understand why Florida's on here. I could see Michigan State. I understand why West Virginia's involved, and of course Missouri. But the spotlight, the biggest light, should be on Texas A&M.
I agree with you on that. I don't disagree with that at all, considering the resume of Jimbo Fisher, an
Yes.
accomplished coach, and the
Yes.
program. Say what you want about the Aggies, but they spend money on that program, and they live in the same neighborhoods as all the Blue Bloods, and they spend money like Blue Bloods. They got facilities like a Blue Blood. They hired a coach that a Blue Blood would hire. So now you just got to start beating some of those Blue Blood programs. And, yeah, talent's not an excuse anymore. Their NIL arms race, or at least their NIL contention, I think, is right in the conversation to be one of the best in the country as well. That they've proven that. So I'm with you.
Other than Jameis Winston, who has been his best quarterback?
That's going to be a question, too.
Right,
'cause,
that's what I'm saying. Other
is it-
than Jameis.
Was it Connor Weigman?
Connor Weigman.
Connor Weigman?
Yeah.
He's the guy from
Yeah.
out of Houston. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I thought he should have started early in the year. I thought he should have been a starter from the rip, but they had is it Matt Johnson, the quarterback? Max Johnson.
Max Johnson.
Yeah, from LSU.
Yeah.
He came in from LSU.
I think they should just give it to Bobby Petrino. I think he should just give it to Bobby Petrino and let him have the offense.
And that gives him
And then
can buy him some time.
It would, but it also allows him to focus on the culture
Yeah. Yeah.
because that also something that
has
fell off
been
for
a
them.
problem.
Yeah. So I think
with
he
you.
should. And I think actually the Aggies have a chance to be good this year, but that marriage between Bobby Petrino and Jimbo Fisher has got to be a sound one.
Yeah.
A sound and successful one. Miami makes the list as well. The Longhorns also make the list here. It says Steve Sarkisian enters his third season in Austin with a 13-12 overall record, and pressure is on the Longhorns to compete for a Big 12 title in 2023. Texas's returns on the recruiting trail have been phenomenal on the Sark, with the Longhorns securing top 5 classes in each of the last 2 cycles. However, the on-field results have been less than desirable, and the upcoming season will determine whether Texas enters the SEC with momentum on its side. Yeah, I agree with all those things. I do think it's a big year for Sark, and this is why. And I think for Sark, it's going to come down to a couple of things. I brought these up yesterday, and you go look at the games last season, the one-score games last season, basically that Texas had. They were 2-5 in those one-score games. Sark is under 500 as a coach, in his career in one-score games. That has got to flip. I mean, he had losses to Bama, Tech, and Oklahoma State by a combined 12 points. And I know that's progress, but that 2-5's got to be flipped. You got to go 5-2 in the one-score games.
Yeah.
You go 5-2 in the one-score games.
It's a totally
we're talking about a
different-
Big 12 championship.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're talking about Sark in a different narrative. And also, Sark has got to be better at winning the chess match within the game. We know Sark's good at preparation and game planning. We've seen how, I'll give you the number, he's outscored his opponents. At least last season, Texas outscored their opponents in quarters 1 through 3 by 179 points combined. But they were outscored by 12 points combined in the fourth quarter this past season. That's the chess match within the game that Sark's losing. He's winning the preparation and game planning. That's winning the first quarter. But there's still 3 more other quarters, and somewhere between the first and the fourth quarter, he dominates the first quarter usually. And that fourth quarter, where he's losing that fourth quarter, that's when teams are making their adjustments, and that's when they're outwitting and getting the best of Steve Sarkisian. So he's got to figure out how to win that chess match, anticipate those adjustments, and come up with creative counters. Those are the 2 big things he's got to figure out. 2-5 in one-score games and being outscored in the fourth quarter combined.
Yeah.
That's what you got to flip. You flip that next season and outscore teams in the fourth quarter, and instead of being 2-5 in one-score games, you're 5-2. Texas is a Big 12 champion.
Say it again.
And Sark gets signed to an extension. Gets a big raise.
They already got that paperwork
They
drawn
ready
up
to
right
go.
now.
CDC's
they got
ready.
two of them. They got 2 of them drawn up.
Yes, they do. That's where they got two.
They got 2 of them drawn up, man.
Yeah, they do.
What direction we going with
Yes,
this, bro?
amen to that one, brother. Yeah. So I think it's like that. Sark is right on the cusp, man. He's right there. I think those are the 2 biggest issues he's got to figure out. He's got to go win games for his team.
No doubt. He has to win them, and he's got to have those moments where your team is just as equal to another team, or they're not getting to where they've been blowing people out, and you have that one game where you need that help in that moment where I've got to call the perfect play, just like we talked about on that goal line whip wrap.
Yeah.
They didn't even know. X-Man said he didn't even know it was 4th down.
I know. I was concerned about that match.
Me,
I ain't
you
gonna
and
lie.
me both.
When
Trust me,
said that, I was
we
like,
just let it go, but
we let it go.
Trust me, I
didn't
was
want to
like,
criticize him on an interview, but
Yeah.
like, you didn't know what down it was.
he's like, I ain't gonna lie. I
I appreciate you opening up to us like this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you feel comfortable opening up to
Talking to
us.
your boys.
But don't
Yeah.
be telling people you didn't know what down it was. Don't you say that ever again.
Man, I didn't know it was
Act
even
like
4th
you
down.
knew what down it was.
But he cut it open like he knew what it was.
He did. No,
Yeah.
you're right. That was 4th down.
That was
so I need you to
4th
know that it was 4th down. And that call, by the way, it was not a great call. It was a magnificently ran route.
And a perfect throw.
And a perfect throw. Thank you.
Yep.
It was a this is a great football lesson.
Absolutely.
The execution was so crisp from the QB to the O-line to the wide receiver and the route run that the defense, although a perfectly called defense,
Yep.
they double teamed Xavier Worthy on the goal line. They had the cornerback had outside leverage, and they had the slot corner or safety who had inside leverage.
Mm-hmm.
And if both guys had just done their jobs, they probably would have picked that ball off and went to the house. But his route,
least one of 'em.
He's one of them. Because it was 2-1.
Yeah.
The route was so crisp,
Yep.
and it was so nasty that it pulled that cornerback in,
Yep.
and he basically lost outside leverage, and then he brought the whip back out, and the throw was perfect.
Spot on.
And we're talking about Sark having faith in that guy making that throw when he hadn't made a lot of great throws that day.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was him going. That was on faith.
Yep.
That was him going out there on faith.
Come on, got there praying.
He was. That was faith. That was him praying to the guys because
Yeah.
Quinn had been off a little bit that day,
Oh, for sure.
and he just figured, all right, 4th down.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they don't get that
And
in
then
that game?
and then he come back to the huddle like Tom Brady. That was 4th?
That was yeah, exactly. He's like, we got another
We
down.
got another
fella."
down.
No, we don't,
No,
X-Man.
bro.
That was 4th.
It was 4th.
Oh, damn.
Man, you should have told me that. I'd have paid more attention.
But to X-Man's point, I guess it don't matter what down it is.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make the damn play.
That's right.
But yeah, I listen. I do think there are times where the execution this year it can, and Bucky always says talent can outweigh the coaching. I think execution sometimes can outweigh the coaching. And like I said, Iowa State, was that the Iowa State game you're talking about? Yes.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a perfect defense call,
Yep.
yet the execution was able to, out execute the coverage, if
like
you will. So this year they should be able to make some of those plays. Matter of fact, I think I got a Quinn Ewers rant maybe in Raj around the day. I'll get to that.
Come on.
But real quick, since we're talking about Texas being able to win that extra game, and by the way, the other team that was on this list, make or break seasons, they had Brent Venables on here.
Yep.
They had the Sooners on here. Man, Brent Venables.
That's what I'm saying. They just got there. So
Honestly,
how's this a make or break?
I agree. I think for
Or is it
Florida,
because you're
that's
going to-
premature.
Yeah.
I do think for Oklahoma, it's real. I think it's real for Oklahoma. And the reason I say that it's real for Oklahoma is because I keep bringing up what are the odds of a program, sports program or organization hiring 3 Hall of Fame coaches in a row. It's extremely rare. And when you are that coach that's following 2 other Hall of Famers that were back to back,
Yeah.
the expectations are so unrealistic for you. David Pierce.
Yep.
Yes. You
Ding,
know what I mean?
ding, 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 ding.
But I think same thing applies to Brent Venables. You're almost in a no-win situation. You almost can't win because the standard, the success, the definition of success is, okay, Big 12 title because they've won 14 of them with 8 different starting quarterbacks. Your turn.
Yeah.
With two different coaches. But those are Hall of Fame all-time great coaches. And I do think for Brent Venables, who, by the way, I'll get this number out there because I thought it was great, 97 out of 123 players on the OU roster, first or second year guys, his guys.
Yeah.
It's very similar to what Sark did after that first season. Basically, Sark turned over that roster pretty quick for Texas.
Yeah, he did.
He got about 80% of that roster turned over probably in the first 2 years. Now, Texas felt it in that 5-7 season, maybe just like Oklahoma felt it too. But now, 97 of those 123 players on that roster are his guys, handpicked by Venables.
I like it.
So that means something too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also we know for Texas, the OU game always matters. For OU, the Texas games matters. And to get embarrassed last year, you didn't have Dylan Gabriel, but to get embarrassed last year, it is, hey, man, you better at least show up this season in Dallas. Because if you get blown out twice, even if we're a 9-win team, you get blown out twice by Texas, and we're going to the SEC, and now we're playing tougher competition, and we're still playing Texas, and now Texas wearing the big boy pants that we've been wearing for 15 years, and now we're gonna give the big boy pants over to them while we're going to the SEC. No,
I'm with you.
I think that's why it's more challenging for Venables, because they just all those things are happening. They're like, dude, we can't walk in behind them. We need to walk in front of them.
Yeah.
like we've been for the last 20 years in this conference, basically. And to add to the point that Patrick's bringing up there, I do think that Oklahoma, Bob Stoops' presence, he's still active and around there, and he loves him some Oklahoma. He just loves it. And he hasn't retired. He's just – because he still was coaching in like it was a USFL?
Is it USFL or XFL?
XFL, one of those. He was coaching in one of those.
In Arlington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was coaching one of those.
Renegades.
Yes, and every time there's a coaching vacancy. Matter of fact, somebody brought his name up when Pat Fitzgerald was let go. It was like, I think he owns a house in Chicago. I don't know, man. I'm to Patrick's point, because Bob Stoops is always there, and I know he feels some guilt about the Lincoln Riley situation. That was his guy, handpicked to be his successor. He's going to lead OU into the future. I ain't got to worry about it. I left it in good hands. Well, did you?
Did you?
Are you leaving it in the hands of a backstabber?
That might be the point right there.
Well, to say, like, Lincoln Riley's like, no, man, I ain't no OU guy. You're an OU guy.
Yeah.
I'm just one of the best coaches in football, period. I'm not an OU guy, though. Bob Stoops is an OU guy.
Yeah, he's
he likes being known as an OU guy. That's why I don't. He didn't want to go to another university.
Yeah.
I think he wants to be known as I'm OU guy.
I mean, now he's an XFL champion. So Stoops is an XFL champion.
Yeah, but you get my point. Yeah, I didn't even know he won the championship.
None of us did. That's a bad sign
Renegades.
for the XFL.
Because he can coach ball, and you know what?
Yeah.
He can go coach ball damn near anywhere. So
I was
Jim Fisher's
in
one of them.
Arlington for opening day of the XFL, and The Rock was staying at my hotel. Him and his ex-wife Danny.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, they and it was right across the street from because Big 12. I mean, not Big 12, but the Globe Life Classic was going on with Texas playing baseball.
Oh, that's right.
And
at
he
the
was
Guild.
across the
Okay.
he was right across the street at the old stadium.
Interesting.
And then he went to San Antonio right after that. So yeah, Stoops was around.
That's all I get.
Stoops is
And my
around.
thing was, Stoops, he won't come back to necessarily coach it, but he'll pull like a Bill Snyder.
Yep.
Remember Bill Snyder did it for a while? I was like, let me come back and fix this damn program. They don't know what the hell they doing. And then he came back for a while, fixed it up. I can see Bob Stoops saying, I'll come back for a couple of years, get it right for you, and then we'll pick a successor. We can do it together. A really good, young, coach that we all agree on, and I can bring him up, kind of groom him a little bit. I can see Bob Stoops doing that if this Venables thing does. Because, by the way, I think Venables is also hand-picked
Yeah.
by Stoops. Like, hey, no, this is the guy. So if that doesn't work out, he's definitely going to feel some guilt. Like, damn it.
Yeah.
I gave him Riley, and that didn't work out. Now Venables.
I gave him Riley.
You know what I mean? Because it was. He just kind of, that was like on the platter.
He handed that one off.
Texas should have had Lincoln Riley. Didn't his family go to Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bob Stoops is only 62 years old.
He's young, man.
Like, he's 9 years younger than Mac Brown.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
give you an idea, that Mac Brown's still coaching at UNC.
Mm-hmm.
For him to come back, he can still coach for another 6-7 years and
Easy.
still be out before 70, which in today's age isn't, for a great coach, is not that old.
And thanks for bringing up the Mac thing. Mac Brown was on with Light the Tower with Craig
Yes, he
Way
was.
earlier today. Go check that out at hornfm.com. Really good interview. Mac dropping some knowledge, as always. Told some good stories and stuff, but go check that out at hornfm.com. Okay, I want to get to some Sark stuff, but I will save it. We'll table it for Raj Ram today, doing some research for the season coming up. And I'll give props to Joe Me the Money, Joey McGuire, and a lesson that Sark can learn from Joey McGuire. I know, Texas Tech fans, you better eat it up. Not very often, I'm going to say Sark can learn lessons from Joey McGuire, but he can. I'll explain that on the other side, right here on Ball Don't Lie on 104.9 The Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers here. Let's talk about Apple Leasing, because the folks at Apple Leasing, they're all about getting you the right car for the right price. It doesn't matter what car it is. They have the ability to put you in any make or model vehicle that you want. The professionals over at Apple Leasing can help you get the price you want, the payment you want on the car that you want. And it's a pretty simple process. All it takes is one phone call or one click on Apple Leasing's website, and you'll get a quote on any make or model vehicle that you want. They can even give you an estimate on the value of your trade-in right over the phone. We all love the experience of the new car smell, the satisfaction of having a brand new car. And my friends at Apple Leasing can help you with that. But what we don't like are the headaches and the stress and the time it takes to go price shopping, to go to different dealerships, to make sure you're getting the right price and the right payment for your budget, the right car for your lifestyle and for your family. All those things can be headaches. And what Apple Leasing wants to do is take the headache out of that process for you. They want to take the stress out of that process for you, and they just want to make it easy. And somebody who knows about that easy process is my man Mike Harge.
That's because I know how to use that Easy Lease. That's right, folks. Y'all need to make sure that you go over there and use that Easy Lease as well. They make it all easy for you. They go out there, you tell them the make, you tell them the model, you even tell them what year you're looking for. A lot of times you're trying to figure out what's the best fit. They can let you know that as well. If you don't want to go in there, you can go online and you can look at the inventory that they have, or you can just tell them, hey, I'm looking for this type of vehicle. I need an SUV with this many miles, and I want to make sure that my payment is around there. They try to work with you and make it as easy as it sounds. You can also make sure that you have no down payment and zero payments for 90 days. Where else can you go out there and do that? Go talk to the folks over at Apple Leasing or give them a call, 512-346-9977, and they will make your life simple. That is why whenever you're out and about and you're thinking about different things, they can answer all the questions for you. Or if you're busy that day and you can't get over there to sign the paperwork, they found what you were looking for, but you can't make it over there to sign the paperwork, that's okay. They set up DocuSign. It's that simple. As I said, go give them a call, 512-346-9977, or go to appleleasing.com. Our man Scott Crosset tells you all he's doing is leasing cars and making friends, and he's got a friend in you, and he's got a friend in me.
All right, welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. Everybody's favorite sleeper team in the Big 12 this year, their dark horse, is Texas Tech. Texas Tech Red Raiders are getting a lot of love as the potential kind of dark horse team in the Big 12. And it's based on what they did last year. A lot of people think they overachieved last year, going 8-5. And I don't know if they overachieved, but they definitely benefited from Joey McGuire's aggressive mentality. And there's an argument to be made that he was among, if not the most aggressive coaches in all of college football last year. And, when Texas played Texas Tech and lost in overtime, Texas assumed that the gratuitous amount of fourth down attempts and conversions was isolated to Texas. That was just something like, man, that was his game plan to beat Texas specifically as a riverboat gambler. They end up calling him Joe Me the Money for Joey McGuire because he would go for it so much on fourth down, and he would, on those money downs, he would cash in on those money downs. He went 6 of 8 versus Texas, big part of why they end up winning that game. And found this little stat about Texas Tech. They attempted 52 fourth downs. 52 fourth downs. Yeah, in Joey McGuire's debut season. That was the most in the country in 2023, and it was the most by any FBS team going all the way back to at least 2009. A little tougher because of lack of consistent statistical records to get anything concrete before then, but it might be the all-time record. There's a belief that it could be the all-time record. Just can't say definitively because couldn't go back and actually research that. So 52 fourth downs last season, and Tech converted 33 of them. So that's a 63.4% conversion rate, 18th nationally overall, but for teams that had at least 30-plus fourth down conversions, that was 5th best. So had them essentially top 5 for really, really aggressive fourth down teams. They went 5 of 6 versus Ole Miss and won that game. They were 6 of 7 versus West Virginia going for it on fourth down. So they were extremely aggressive. Now, Texas may have been probably the most extreme example of it, but in the 12 games in which Tech attempted a fourth down conversion, they were 6-1 when they converted more than 50% of those fourth downs, and they were 1-4 when they had a conversion rate below 50%. And Longhorn fans, remember, it wasn't really a rhyme or reason to it. Usually it's like, all right, we're on our side of the field. We're on their side of the field. We're on the opposing side of the 50, and we're closer to 40. We're too close to punt, too far for a field goal. Let's go for it. And a lot of coaches have, a serious. They kind of got a model. The green folder, analytic folder for Tom Herman. They have kind of a concrete model that tells them anytime you're within this range and is within this yardage, you can go for it. All right, within this distance, you can go for it, or within this yardage, you can go for it. And they just kind of follow that model consistently all year. And you can see, okay, they usually go for it anytime they're on the opposing teams or 43 or 45-yard line, right around there, and anything less than 2 or 3 yards to go. You can see that trend, that pattern. Now with Texas Tech, Longhorn fans remember this. I mean, he could be anywhere. He could be on his 40 or his 30, he'll go for it. He could be on the opposing team's 30 or 40, he'll go for it. Goal line, within field goal range, outside of field goal range, does not matter. Not really a rhyme or reason to it. It's a gut thing. He actually admitted it. It's kind of a gut feeling based on the feel of the game. One thing I've criticized Sark for. Sark doesn't have great feel for the game. You got to realize when the tide's turning. When things are shifting.
Yeah.
You got to be able
quickly.
You got to be able to, lick your finger and put your finger up and be able to feel the shifting of the winds and momentum. And sometimes Sark has a tough time being able to gauge that. I'll give Joey McGuire a lot of credit. He was really good in terms of his feel of the game because that's all that fourth down conversions are. If you're going to go for it like he was, you don't have necessarily a strict protocol or a kind of strict definition about your fourth down aggression. If you don't have that already laid out and outlined, then you kind of go off your gut, and that's exactly what he did. So, in 12 games in which they attempted 6-1 when they completed 50+% of their, or at least when they converted 50+% of their fourth downs. And when they were below that number, they were 1-4. Now, how about this? You go look at fourth down conversions that extended drives. So, their fourth down conversions that extended drives that they converted. So they convert a fourth down, and then that drive extends, and then it leads to points. So anytime a fourth down conversion extended a drive that led to points, they take that number and also take the number and subtract that number from the amount of points that you gave up as a result of failed fourth down conversions. So they actually had 129 points that they actually scored as a result of fourth downs converted, and then those fourth downs extending drives that led to 129 points. When they turned the ball over on downs on fourth downs, they failed to convert, they allowed teams to score 44 points. So the difference is 85 points. So they kind of, they basically had a profit, a net profit, if you would consider it a money down on fourth down. Their net profit was 85 points, which is an average of 6.5 points per game. Guys, they beat U of H, UT, and Oklahoma in overtime by 3 points. Basically, Joe Me the Money got them 3 wins.
Got them 3 wins. That's what we've been talking about.
And they beat U of H, Texas, and Oklahoma all in overtime by 3 points, and they beat Iowa State by 4 points. I mean, basically, Joe McGuire, on the books, can say, hey, man, I got us 2-3 more wins just from my aggressive style. Just from me setting myself apart, doing something unique that nobody else is doing as aggressively and as extreme as he's doing it, and it led to his team getting a couple of more wins. If you go look at of the 84 offensive and defensive fourth downs, that means they defended fourth downs too, because they actually were decent in fourth down defense. Of the 84 offensive and defensive fourth downs that they either had to convert or they defended, they won 54 of them. All right, so they won 54 on defense. They either stopped the conversion or were able to defend them successfully, or on offense they were able to convert the fourth down. So 54 out of 84. You're talking about 64% of the fourth downs, the money downs, offense and defense, Tech won this year. So they were winning that money down.
Aggressive. Be aggressive.
And to me, the lesson for Sark is, first of all, I need you as a coach. I need to be able to quantify and document with all the stats that I research and look up and all the film study I do. I need to be able to quantify Sark got us a win, or 2, or 3. I can, based on these numbers, it is clear that the mentality and the ideology of Joey McGuire as a coach won Texas Tech 3 more games. Maybe 4.
Maybe 4.
It's pretty obvious him coming in like, nah, man, this is my mentality. I'm a ride. I know sometimes it's going to look irrational, and you're not going to like this roller coaster ride we on because it's going to be a scary dip. But, man, when we start riding high, it ain't going to be nothing like it.
Right.
And he took Texas Tech fans on that ride, and turns out
that's why they're walking around with their chest poked out right now.
Because they know that their coach went out there and won them some games.
Yeah.
And I need to be able to quantify that Sark won us some games last year.
Yeah.
What game last year did Sark win? Not just giving, not give it to Bijan. Put some Bijan on it with a side of Rojo. We all knew that. That was my motto for the year. I'm not saying he didn't. My point is, it's tough for you to find it in your mind right now to go, oh, no. Remember this? Remember what he did late in the game in that fourth quarter? You remember those moves? You remember those chess moves he was making? Tactician.
That's what
exactly.
I'm sitting here looking right now.
It's not as obvious. I'm not saying it didn't happen. It's just not as obvious. So, and part of it is there are a lot of concepts that work for Sark, but he doesn't want to be an extremist. At times, he's a moderate when he should be an extremist about some of his concepts. I'll give you an example. So an example is targets to motion. This is when the quarterback targets a player who was either in motion prior to the snap or in motion at the time of the snap. Okay? Mm-hmm. Targets to motion. Mm-hmm. If you go look at it, the completion percentage for Texas quarterbacks, targets to motion, over 80% completion percentage. Over 30% of the targets to motion for Texas last season resulted in explosive play, which means a play of 15 or more yards. Xavier Worthy averages 21.9 yards per reception on targets with pre-snap motion. Do you know the percentage of targets to motion we have? A little over 8%. Should be higher, huh?
It should definitely be
Right,
higher.
exactly.
It should definitely be higher.
But Jordan McGuire's like, hey, man, we're good on fourth downs. So should we run just, 30 or 40 in the season? No, we're going to do 52.
Yeah. We're going to
We're
be
going to set the
aggressive
damn
on it.
record.
Yeah.
That's what we do well. Let's do it. Analytics say it works. Let's be bullish about it.
Well, he definitely was bullish about it.
And I got a lot of concepts like this from Sark that were really successful last year, and we should have saw more of it. Last year in 21 personnel, 2 backs, 1 tight end. The explosive play rate, meaning a rush of at least 10 yards and a pass reception or a pass play of at least 15 yards, almost 24% of the plays out of 21 personnel last year ended up in explosive play.
Yeah.
Why not run it more?
Well, we talked about that.
Why not run it more?
What'd you say? He don't normally play the hits.
Exactly. Exactly. That's another
You
one
know
too.
what I'm saying?
So I have a good play in the first quarter, and it's
Yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
go run that play again.
Yeah, where the
that
hits
really
at?
cool play. Play
Yeah.
the hits. So like I say, that's on Sark. Sark has concepts. I can give you the numbers that, oh man, these are astronomically proven to be effective, like way more effective than other concepts, and yet they're used in moderate, you know what I mean, in kind of a moderate form.
Yeah.
Why not be an extremist? If it works, work it till the wheels fall off that mofo.
I'm down.
What you saving it for?
Yep, I'm down.
Jordan McGuire don't save it. Went for it 8 times. And Sark kept thinking he ain't going for it again. He going for it.
He's going for it again.
And then the chess match within the game, sometimes the chess match turns into poker. And what do they always say about poker? Sometimes you can't play the hand. You got to play the man.
Yep.
And there are times when you got to forget about trying to come up with concepts that are effective and schemes that are effective on the field. Go play the DC. You've been watching film on him. You should know his trends and tendencies. You should know what he's going to do in the fourth quarter when he's up or when he's down, or if he's aggressive, he likes to blitz
When
and all
he
that.
like to
You should
blitz,
know the
run
man.
down, what situation, what
Sometimes
part
if
of the
if you
field.
can't
Yep.
play the hand, he's like, I don't have enough information about the hand. I don't really know what the hell they're going to do scheme-wise. Now, personnel-wise, okay. Have you researched the DC? Do you know what he likes? You know how aggressive he is? Do you know what his mentality is in the fourth quarter? You know what his mentality is when his team is up or in a lead or down? That's all part of Sark taking his game to the next level as the chess master. And right now, you're just a chess player. And
Very
like I said,
true.
but essentially, Jordan McGuire was able to outcoach Sark.
He said he's ready. You
'Cause-
know, they both ready.
Yeah, because I don't think he was playing the hand. I think Jordan McGuire was playing the man.
Yeah.
He was like, man, Sark ain't gonna want to gamble like me. If I gamble enough, I'll give my team enough advantages. We can't just beat Texas. Hell no, we need some things to fall our way. We need luck on our side.
Right.
And I'm gonna create my own damn luck. How do you create your own damn luck? Money downs, baby. It's a great way to do it.
Love it.
So the lesson is not that, Sark should start copying him and go for on fourth down a lot. No. The lesson is I need to be able to quantify how Sark has won Texas games. And me as a football theorist, I'm telling you, I haven't been able to do that a lot. And I can do it early on with Joey McGuire. The second lesson is for Sark, when you have a concept, when you have a scheme, when you have a personnel package, whatever, a force multiplier, whatever it may be that's working, be aggressive, be bullish on it. Don't use it in moderation. Use it up. What's that Bill Withers song?
Yeah, just use me up.
Right? That's what the concept is telling you, sorry. That's the targets to motion is saying, no, use me up.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. They can't stop targets to motion. If Xavier Worthy's averaging 21.9 yards per reception on targets with pre-snap motion, do it 15 times a game.
Yeah.
Now, there are other concepts, but that was just one I gave you.
I like it.
That's-
My favorite part is play the hits.
Play the hits, man.
Play the hits. And if fourth down, you can get some first. Let's
Play the
keep
hits.
doing it.
Play the hits.
Yeah. Don't be afraid of it.
Texas averaged over 8 yards per play with 21 personnel last year.
Yeah.
8 yards per play.
Mm.
But they didn't use it a ton. Still use it less than 21 personnel, less than 12% of the time. It's like, if I had a package averaging 8 yards per play, I would probably use it more than 12% of the time.
Oh, that's a good thought process,
Especially
right?
when my 2 best players and my best leaders are in that package. So my complaint now with Sark is that I want you to be an extremist. You're too moderate. All right?
I think he's ready to be an
Yeah.
extremist.
You need to be Bernie and you're Elizabeth Warren. I need you to be extreme. Be extreme. I need you to be extreme in your views.
Okay.
That's it. Because Joey McGuire, he's extreme.
And he's letting everybody know how extreme he is. Did you see that suit jacket he had on yesterday?
Extreme.
He's ready. He's ready.
He looks like a guy that's going to go for it on 4th down 8 times in the game. You're like, what the hell? That's how that guy dresses.
I like it.
All right, we come back. We'll have another off the
That's how
record on
that
this
guy
side.
dresses.
Right here on Ball Don't Lie, 104.9 The Horn. Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn, Rod Babers here. Let me tell you, we all love the city of Austin. It is a magnificent city, thanks in no small part to the skilled craftsmanship of Ironworkers Local Union 482. They don't go to the office, folks. They build it. So if you're looking for an exciting new career, you can become a valued member of Ironworkers Local 482 and accept the challenge of becoming the best version of yourself while helping shape Austin's economic development. Right now, they're hiring over 3,000 people for a huge project right here in Central Texas, and you can become a valued member of this prestigious organization. All you got to do is reach out to our good friends at Ironworkers Local Union 482 at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org. Like I said, they're hiring 3,000 people right now for a huge project right here in Central Texas, and you can become one of these lucky people. So reach out to them today at ironworkers482.org. That's ironworkers482.org. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. It is a 512 Friday edition of Ball Don't Lie. That's when the Idealionaire, Patrick Davis, takes songs from very talented artists, very talented human beings that you have a chance to catch live right here in the ATX. My man Patrick lets you know exactly how you can do it. Who we jamming right now, Patrick?
This is Tough on Fridays, and they're playing Saturday at Valhalla.
I like that. Okay. Tough
on Fridays.
Tough on Fridays. Oh, wow. Oh, that's the name of the band. Tough on. What makes them tough on Fridays? They party so hard?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
No idea.
All right, there you go. My man Patrick always hooking us up on a 512 Friday. All right, a little off the record here, gentlemen. A couple of off the record stories. So we know Lionel Messi is going to be playing for Inter Miami, the MLS squad, and he apparently now is, trying to become just a regular Miami citizen.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the city, and he was spotted shopping at a Publix grocery store.
Yep.
And there are a couple of people that noticed him, but for the most part, he went in, kind of unnoticed anonymity.
Yeah.
Barely recognized in the Publix store. There was one guy who took a picture with him, and that's all I really saw, pretty much.
Well, think about it. We live in Austin, where there's a ton of people, right? Like we see stars all the time. It's like L.A. Miami's the same way, so they're probably like, "Oh, that's Messi, man."
That's true.
Cool.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That is
Over
fair.
there, he's treated like a god.
No, that's true.
So, but here it's like, "Oh, there's such and such. What up, man?"
That's a good
Keep
point.
it moving.
There's certain cities where that is the case.
Right. And
Miami is
Miami
one
would
of them.
definitely be one
Miami,
of them.
New York's like that. I remember going by, when my wife went to New York a few years ago, and we were on Broadway just kind of walking around because we went to a show. Went to go see the Book of Mormon, actually.
Nice.
And awesome show.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
the Book of Mormon. Oh, it's amazing. And they were walking around, and what's his name? Noth? Is it Chris Noth? The guy to play Mr. Big on Sex and the City? You know?
Oh, yeah, I know
Sex
you're
and the
talking
City?
about.
You
I
what I'm
know you're
talking
talking about.
He literally, we were just standing there and didn't realize he was standing right, like literally 2 feet behind us. He was just standing there like on his phone.
Yeah.
Nobody messed with him. I
You
turned
might
around.
have been in a scene. You never know. You
No,
might have
he
been
wasn't.
in a scene.
No, he was just on his phone. I turned around and I was like, "Babe, that's
Yeah.
Mr. Big right there."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Mr. Big." And he's like, How y'all folks doing? Good to see you." And he's walked, but nobody
Kept
was
it
bothering
moving,
him.
right?
Nobody was messing with him. We only messed with him because we were tourists.
Yeah.
And we were like, but everybody else was like, "No, Mr. Big, man."
Yeah,
let him
we
do his
see
thing."
him all the time.
See him all the time.
They shoot scenes right here all the time, man.
So yeah, no, you're right about that. Certain cities not a big deal. So maybe maybe Messi wants that though.
Right.
Probably wants some actors and celebrities. They like, I want to be in a place like Hollywood, New York, where people don't notice me and they don't care. If they do notice me, they don't care that much.
That is why you saw him shopping with his family with no security.
No security.
Didn't draw attention to himself.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
went on
yeah.
about his business.
He had like 3 pictures that
Yeah.
surfaced of him.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's one of those things of being a soccer player in America where it's like, look, it's a popular sport, but it is not football. It's not
Basketball.
It's not basketball. It's
NBA.
not, and so it's like you're going down on it to where your odds of finding someone who's a super diehard fan who is going to be uncontrollably wanting to get a picture with you
Yeah.
is less odds here than overseas, where it's like, no, you're the best player at the
Yeah.
biggest
It's
game.
like Patrick Mahomes. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say it would've been Pat
No,
Mahomes.
it would be like Michael Jordan, basically, like walking around randomly. Like, what's the biggest sports star we can think of? Because that's Messi.
But like
over
if
there.
Travis Kelce was walking around Kansas City,
That's big, yeah.
people would be like, oh crap, that's like he's
Yeah,
the guy.
No doubt. That's a good point.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and Messi's here, man, and apparently, in Miami's
He's doing things.
well, just apparently like he's getting himself, used to just being a regular old citizen in the city of Miami. So good for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of Miami, have you guys heard the rumor that Jimmy Butler is dating Shakira?
The hips don't lie, man.
Apparently, this thing has been going on for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
There's-
She was there for the NBA playoffs.
So is this? So they are dating? It just says that it's been dating rumors.
They like to smile at each other. He makes her smile.
Wow.
Yeah.
They said the 46-year-old superstar and basketball player because obviously she is much older than he is. And he's 33, did their best to stay under the radar as they opted to arrive separately at a bar in London earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they hanging out in London together.
Oh,
Something
they-
going
yeah,
on.
yeah,
They
yeah.
kicking it. Good for Jimmy.
Fashion week over there. Jimmy trying to put his big face clothing line out there, probably.
Oh, that's right.
You
What
know.
about the country music album?
I'm just saying.
Where happened to that?
They lost, Rod. They lost.
But still, he was coming up
He
with a
could write
country
a
music
real
album.
Yeah,
good
that's
country
how you
song.
write good country songs. Most countries, they're about loss.
Yeah.
Oh, depression.
Yeah. Yep.
It's true. You got some sadness to write a good country
Gotta
song.
have it.
All right, there you go. So Jimmy Butler maybe dating
Oh,
Shakira.
can you write a
That's
country song called "Those Hips Do Lie"?
also- Oh, well done.
Don't put that on him, Patrick.
Well done there, Patrick. I would love that. Jimmy, get on it. Jimmy, what you waiting on, Jimmy?
Oh,
Get
Jimmy
on
might
that,
be
Jimmy.
getting on that.
All right, we come back. We actually have some audio of Vince Young and Quinn Ewers hanging out. We'll play that audio for
pretty
you.
cool.
Also, we'll get into some other NFL news, notes, and nuggets. Haven't talked enough NFL today, so we'll do that on the other side as well. All that and more right here on Ball Don't Lie on 104.9 The Horn.
Man, I like that right here. Welcome back to a 512 edition of Ball Don't Lie. This is where my man Patrick Davis picks local artists and lets you know where they will be playing this weekend. Patrick, who is this and where will they be this weekend?
This is the legendary W.C. Clark, and he is going to be playing Saturday at Saxon Pub.
Man, W.C.
You know what
Clark,
that is.
he been around for a minute. You could tell that voice anywhere. Sounds so smooth, man. He been around for a minute.
Got some. It's got some wisdom in that
It
voice.
does. It got some knowledge that he's dropping right there. That man lived through some things.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, I love that right there.
Thanks, my man Patrick, always hooking us up, man, on a 512 Friday. I've heard from plenty of folks out there. It's their favorite musically themed day of the week. So appreciate Patrick and all of his efforts. Okay, we got some NFL topics we're going to dive into, but I want to play this Quinn Ewers VY sound first. Can we get this ready, Patrick? I'm not sure when this was. I'm not sure if this was recent. Like, I'm talking about Big 12 Media Days recent, or this. I know it actually has been since he cut the mullet, because he doesn't have the mullet in the video. So we know it's somewhat recent. Because when did he cut the mullet? 2023? Early 2023?
Yeah, it
Early
happened
this
this
offseason, right?
Yeah, it was
so
during
he
the
cut the mullet
offseason.
early this offseason. So he's hanging out with VY, and they asked him at Big 12 Media Days about hanging out with VY and his relationship with VY. And he did say that the advice VY always gives him is you need to have fun. You need to have more fun. Basically, like,
Yep.
I'm seeing you out there. You ain't having enough fun. You need to have more fun. I love that advice from
And
VY.
VY is somebody that had fun.
Yeah.
And it's
No,
fun when you're winning, too.
I totally agree. When you are in, it's tough. It's not all forms of entertainment, but I do think sports is a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
When you are in entertainment business in some ways, it is, I think, important, almost pivotal, that you have fun yourself.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the people are not. I told you when we started the show.
Man.
My advice was, listen, if we're not having fun doing the show, nobody's gonna have fun listening
And
to the
they
show.
going to know that we ain't having
They
fun.
gonna know we
doing
ain't
the
having
show.
fun. It's
Yep.
like that couple, you know, they're miserable.
Yep.
You're like, man, they seem like they hate each other.
And they do.
They always acting like they nice, like they
Yeah.
don't like each other.
Yeah, you could tell.
You can tell exactly.
Yeah, you can
tell
tell.
they don't like each other. Yes, people can tell
Yeah.
when you're not having fun. And I think VY's observation of him is like, I don't know if you're always having fun out there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're always working hard, trying hard, you're always focused, that kind of thing. But in the midst of all that, you got to be having fun.
Yes.
There's-
I agree.
These are probably going to be the funnest times of your life out there on that field.
Yeah, because real life comes at you.
Comes at you.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's only a limited amount of reps you're going to have. That joy you get out there on that field, man,
Yeah.
don't waste it. Don't
Agreed.
Don't let any moment, cherish it. All right, don't let any moment go by where you don't feel grateful for it. So here is Quinn, and he actually gets into this too, but here's Quinn hanging out with VY and them having a little bit of a conversation with the Longhorn Network guys.
Anything I always tell him to have fun. When I see him, every time I go to practices or whatever, I say, "Are you having fun?" Because it's tough to be a quarterback at the University of Texas. So that's why I always tell him, Malik, and all the rest of the guys, "Hey, are you having fun?" That's all I ask.
It's a kid's game at the end of the day. And both of us have the ability and had the chance and the opportunity to play at such a great university like Texas. And obviously, he's a legend here, and I just kind of want to be like the same thing he is, man, you know?
When he cut his hair, I was like, "What's going on?" I was trying to grow mine out, but I'm about to wear mine like his.
Yeah, it was time to let that thing go.
I love VY's laugh, actually.
I was going to say.
VY's laugh is so natural. It is. Yeah. But no, I'm glad that my biggest, I think that what I think the biggest advice, or at least influence, maybe is a better term, that VY could have on a young quarterback like Quinn Ewers. I like to have fun things. I think it relates to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you can't really try to quantify a player's natural instinct, call that it quality.
Yep.
But it's going to be really important this year, imperative, that Quinn Ewers is a better second reaction player, that he can salvage broken plays, you know what I mean, like and improvise off script, and be able to still make plays off schedule. That's going to be important. Now, in Sark's offense, Sark doesn't envision anybody ever having to be off script or improvise or be off schedule. I remember giving the stat that Mac Jones and the perfect Sark offense is a Sark offense that won the national title at Alabama with Mac Jones running it. And Mac Jones had to go to his second read like less than 10% of the time. He just
because they was that open.
Yeah, he just didn't. Yeah,
they were that open.
He just didn't have to. He didn't have to go through progressions very often. Like he didn't. It was guys were wide open, just the way that Sark schemed it open. That Texas is not there yet, and I think last year, not this past season, but 2021 when Sark first got here, that was the challenge for Casey Thompson, and why Casey Thompson fit better in the offense than a guy like Hudson Card, because Hudson Card wanted the offense to work on schedule, on time, and honestly, that offense wasn't necessarily constructed well enough, to operate on time, on schedule. Now, this offense will have more success operating on time, on schedule. You won't have to worry about second reaction plays. But the reason I bring up VY is because the most famous play in the history of Texas football, arguably in the history of college football, is a second reaction improvisation play.
Yeah.
It is VY, play broken down. All right, now I got to make a play. That's 50% of football.
And that's what he do.
Yes, and that's 50% of football. Like 50% of the game is just, the play the coach called didn't work.
Right.
Now I got to go out here and make a damn play. And that's for damn near everybody on the field. And I think for Quinn, because he hasn't had a lot of reps in the last few years, he's uncomfortable off script. He's uncomfortable off schedule. He's uncomfortable when he's having to work out of rhythm. And I think we got to get him better at that. There's a great quote from Bill Walsh when Bill Walsh was asked by Jim Harbaugh. Excuse me, got my Harbaughs mixed up. Asked by Jim Harbaugh, hey, what do I look for in a quarterback? Right? What should I be looking for in a quarterback? What do you look for in a quarterback? And Bill Walsh, and this is Jim Harbaugh's quote. I'm going to read his quote about Bill Walsh. He said, "It's in the name of Bill Walsh. I spent time with Bill Walsh before he passed away during my first year at Stanford. And I asked him one day, what do you look for in a quarterback?" By the way, Steve Sarkisian's asked him this same question too, but he got a different response. He said, "I look for athletic instincts." Bill Walsh said, I asked Walsh what he meant by that, and he said, "It means he's the best athlete in the entire high school. He could go make the basketball team. He could be the sixth man. He could go make the soccer team. He can swim. He can field balls from center field. He can be a shortstop. Could probably pitch on the baseball team." And Bill Walsh went on to say, the quality I'm looking for is an instinctive, spontaneous, natural response to situations. Damn. Only Bill Walsh could put it like that. An instinctive, spontaneous, natural response to situations. Walsh said some of his quarterback's greatness was that his spontaneous instincts would break loose between 10 to 15% of the time, often making what Walsh called a phenomenal difference in the result of the game. That's what Quinn Ewers has got to get better at, that 10 to 15%, and what Bill Walsh called an instinctive, spontaneous, natural response to situations. Spontaneous instincts would break loose. Now, some guys use it all the time. Johnny Manziel, he was basically 90% spontaneous instincts, all that. You don't want too much of that.
No.
But you would like enough sprinkled in that when, it's the perfect defense called and the offensive line broke down, pass protection broke down. Oh, man, the route combination didn't work because there's a really good DB out there and he played press coverage, reroute the wide receiver. I need my quarterback to go out there and make a play based on their instinctive, spontaneous, natural response to situations, as Bill Walsh called it.
I love that.
That's what you learned from VY.
Yeah.
Because VY, and Colt had that too.
Colt was definitely an off-script guy.
He really was great off script. I bet you were great off script.
I was.
You're a great athlete, though.
Yeah, I tried not to stay in one spot too long, just because of the fact that I knew we could make some plays that weren't the way that they were supposed to be.
And it's the defensive coordinator's worst nightmare.
Yep.
I can't game plan for that. I game plan for the 4-5 seconds where I got to defend the skill positions where I'm trying to get pressure on the quarterback. And let's say I get pressure on the quarterback, I collapse the pocket, defended the wide receivers, rerouted them, and then this dude breaks the pocket and starts improvising, keeping the play alive, looking downfield to throw, or he could run. It's a defensive coordinator's worst nightmare is off script and off schedule.
Understood.
So that's what I want to see from Quinn Ewers. A little bit more of that.
What have I been saying the entire time?
You have been saying it.
I've been
You've
saying
been saying it since day one.
I was like,
you
come
really
on,
were.
dog. You got to run a little bit, man. Do
Yeah.
some things different. If it's not there, run around a little bit. I'm not telling you to go get your head knocked off.
No.
Keep the chains moving.
Yep.
Give some positive.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
there have been opportunities for you to get outside the pocket and get yourself 3, 4, maybe 5 yards and then dip down. I'm trying to get you to live a little bit more.
He listened to you at the end of the year.
He did.
He started scrambling.
That's when he decided, oh, you know
Yeah.
what? I got to go make plays because people booing.
Yeah, he
You
did.
know what
and
I'm
then
saying?
Sark even designed him a
couple
touchdown.
plays,
In the,
that's
it's a
right.
Baylor game.
Yeah.
He got the rushing
Where
touchdown.
he got a rushing
I think it
touchdown.
was Baylor game. He got that rushing TD.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I agree with when you. I think you said that. Oh man, you might have said that. Maybe Oklahoma State. I don't know.
did. I
It
said
was
it
early
multiple
on.
times.
It was really early on.
Yeah.
But you said he should run more.
I'm like, why doesn't he run?
And then teams and then you know who did though?
Yeah,
Hudson Card.
exactly.
When Hudson Card got in there,
He
would
went off
take
script because he
Yeah.
learned his lesson from the year before
Boom.
dealing with Casey Thompson.
Exactly. He's like, Casey Thompson was like, dude, you better run.
Yeah.
You got that. If you can get a first down, coach will not yell at you for missing the read.
He's like, there was a guy open. Yeah, coach, we got another play. Start
I got
it
another
over.
first
Let's
down,
dry
so
it
leave me
up.
alone.
We know you're not gonna run the same play again because you don't play the hits.
Exactly. Coach is not going to complain. He may be upset. You could have gotten a bigger play down the field.
Yeah.
You get a first down, coach going to get back on that play sheet. All right, let's
Exactly.
go. He ain't going to
Get
complain
right
about
back
that.
on
Right
it.
back on that play sheet,
Yep.
man. All right, so getting to some NFL discussion here, NFL news, notes, and nuggets. You sent this actually ranking, and this is from Pro Football Focus, or one of their writers, I should say, from Pro Football Focus. And they rank the top 10 most draftable wide receivers coming out in the 2024 wide receiver class. Trevor, I think his name is Sakima.
I think it is Sakima.
But I could be wrong about that. He obviously does good work. Actually, I follow him on Twitter. But here's the receivers he listed as the top 10 most draft eligible receivers in college football for the 2024 draft. Marvin Harrison Jr., who is right now, people are saying he's going to go number 2 overall.
Yeah.
Behind Caleb Williams.
If Caleb Williams wasn't in, if they got a quarterback already, they're going to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right now, they're saying if Arizona gets the 1 and 2 pick, which they could, especially after the trade they made with the Texans,
that's right.
that they're going to draft Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. That would be crazy, though, guys.
That would be
the amount of
outstanding.
money they steal. It would be outstanding. The amount of money they still have invested in Kyler Murray. Who the hell is going to trade for Kyler Murray in that contract?
Yeah.
With him still, you see, he's still talking trash and talking
I told
crazy.
you yesterday.
He's still talking crazy.
Hey, but if things don't work, I'm going to call my own play.
And it's like,
I'm
he
like,
going to end up
come on,
playing
let-
baseball. I got a feeling somebody's
still
going to end
got-
up playing baseball.
What I tell you.
I think you might be right about that, man.
I was like,
'Cause
this dude, man.
him and the NFL don't seem like they get along very
I
well.
think that his rights are still owned right now by
The A's?
Oakland A's.
You mean the Vegas?
I mean,
by the time he goes
Vegas,
there,
yeah, it might be Vegas. That might be why he wants to do it. He'd be like, yeah, let's go ahead and play Vegas.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, man, you know what? I wouldn't. That'd be a hell of a move, though.
Yeah.
If he basically decided, no, I'm done with this NFL career. It ain't working out. I'm gonna
hurt.
go play baseball. I'm
I'm
hurt
hurt.
all the time.
Yeah.
Take my guaranteed money,
Let me
and I'm gonna go play
make some
baseball.
money. Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
That
And
would
get
be-
some more money.
That'd be OG.
Yeah.
That'd be some OG stuff right there. I'm kind of rooting for it now. Kind of rooting for it. Okay, so they got Marvin Harrison Jr. number 1. They got Malik Neighbors, the LSU wide receiver, also on here. I don't know if they didn't rank him, so I shouldn't say number 1. They just listed him. But I think we all know Marvin Harrison Jr. is the number 1 wideout listed. They got Emeka Egbika, the other
wide
Ohio
receiver.
State wide receiver.
Imagine that. Think
Yeah.
about all their wide receivers that have been first-round draft picks, impactful draft picks, and it's been year after year after year. Brian Hartline, man.
And Brian Hartline said Marvin Harrison Jr. is better than all of them.
All of them. And they said it.
He's coached all of them. He
Remember,
said, no, he said they're better.
Garrett
Yeah.
Wilson said it too.
Yeah. No,
Garrett
you're right.
Wilson said, man,
better
you
than
know
all
what?
of us.
Somebody else is cold over here.
That's crazy to think.
Yeah.
I can. Garrett Wilson's he's like 3 or 4 of those guys are 1,000-yard receivers
Rookie of the
already.
year.
Man,
Yeah.
how good is Marvin Harrison Jr.? Good Lord. They also have A.D. Mitchell
Yep.
listed on here and Xavier Worthy. Longhorns got 2 of them.
No doubt.
The list rounds out with Johnny Wilson out of Florida State, Ladd McConkey out of Georgia, Rome Odunze out of Washington. We saw him last year.
Yeah, we did.
Antoine Wells Jr. out of South Carolina. And A&M's got Moose Muhammad III.
Yep.
Like that. Moose Muhammad.
like it.
So it's once again, no matter what ranking we're looking at, Pro Football Focus, Athlon Sports, Pro Football Network, if they're ranking wide receiving rooms and wide receiving groups in college football, Texas has always been in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them outside the top 3 in any ranking of any publication.
Right.
And that's
That's
why
how deep that room. That's why the expectations are there. That's why I believe when you asked the question earlier about the over/under on touchdowns,
I think it's 3,000 yards and a half, yes, and 25.5 for touchdowns.
Yeah.
And what you said, you're not going to take the bet.
No, I'm not going to take it. But if he's healthy all year, I'm not putting money down on it. And like we talked about before, you got to try to make sure that you avoid the injury bug. And if he can avoid that, because you've given the numbers about how many quarterbacks actually finish
I want to say
a full
6 times it's happened that a quarterback has finished a full season at Texas.
Yeah. And then you sit here and
in the Mac Brown, since the Mac Brown era, I should say. Yeah.
And if that is the case and he is able to do that, there's no doubt in my mind that he would be over 3,000 yards and he would have more than 25 touchdowns. And that would put him in the place to be, New York City.
New York City.
Heisman Trophy presentation.
Yeah, and you know what? With all those wideouts, and I'll give Steve Sarkisian a ton of credit, he said one of his big issues to resolve, to try to fix this offseason was the passing game. He thought the passing game last year regressed, and it hit kind of a wall, and they just couldn't really figure out how to make all the different moving pieces work with the passing game. And I guess he came to realize that one of the biggest issues were that they just kind of ran out of weapons at wideout. And they went and got, and a lot of that wasn't all their fault. Isaiah Nayor got hurt. And that was a big blow.
Never got Troy Amiri on the field.
Troy Amiri couldn't get out there, and so that was a big blow.
Casey Kane wasn't consistent.
He was all over the place.
There was opportunity, and you still waited too long to try to get my man Jay Witt involved.
Now that is a travesty.
Exactly.
What are we waiting on?
Man,
nobody should be more insulted by a one-handed quarterback throwing to a one-handed wide receiver than Jay Witt out there with his hands up like, you serious?
I got both mine. I've been dealing with injuries forever, and I'm here for you.
Finally healthy.
And y'all can't get me to rock.
Throwing to the one-hand man? And I'm in one-on-one. He's a double-covered one-hand man, and I got one-on-one coverage here. Y'all don't want to throw me a screen?
Right.
And then when they started doing it against TCU, probably the second best defense they faced all year.
Yes.
Second and third, he was ripping them up with that wide receiver screen.
Don't do it to me, dog.
They couldn't tackle him.
Don't do it to me, man.
But Sark went to it too late. That's one of those games where Sark could have found a way to win Texas a game.
Thank you.
If he'd have went to stuff like that a little bit earlier. And he waited too late to go to the things that were working because essentially the TCU was packing the box. They were not going to let Bijan get any room in that box. So essentially, I always say if you're not winning the numbers battle in the box, you know where you are winning it? Outside.
You got to.
They can't win both numbers battles. If you're losing the numbers battle outside, that means you're winning it inside.
Yep.
If you're losing it inside, you're winning it outside. And Sark figured out, okay, we're losing the numbers battle inside, and then what are we going to do? Well, let's just go outside.
Right.
Take the running game outside, baby. Screen passes, short passes. Figured that out, but a little too late.
Just a wee bit.
Just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. This year, figure that out a quarter quicker. Whole nother game.
Thing will be totally
because
different.
They're going to adjust and they're going to put defenders out there to stop that wide receiver screen. It's going to open up your box.
Agreed.
Like these are little tiny things, little small things, but that's how coach goes to win a game. I need to go win a game. They're close games. Go win it.
And like you said, I need you to win me a couple this year.
If I can at the end of the season say I can count 2 or 3 games where Sark's schematic advantage won Texas a game.
Yeah.
He made the proper adjustments. He anticipated the counters, and then he was able to come up with a winning fourth quarter game plan.
Yes, sir.
To close out the opponent.
Yes, sir.
I haven't been able to say that as much.
No, it's been real quiet on that front.
Yeah, I don't.
It's been real quiet
honestly,
on that front.
I'm not gonna lie. The last time I think I might have said that might have been K-State in 2021. Think about it. K-State 2021. They came out with the Wildcat. Yeah, he came out with that Wildcat though, and just ran the Wildcat the whole damn game. He was like, okay, compared to all the injuries to quarterbacks, all the quarterbacks were hurt. Quarterbacks were injured. Bijan, I think, was hurt too. He had injuries to all of his best players, to everything. He's like, and I was in necessity is the mother of invention?
Yes.
He decided, all right, I got to find a way to just win this damn game. How do I win this damn game? And he made all the right calls to win the game. They were not necessarily the better team in that game.
Yeah.
Because K-State, honestly, K-State had their starting quarterback hurt too because Will the Peel Howard was starting.
Yep.
And he burnt off on him for that long run.
Down the sideline, I'll still look. I'm seeing it right now.
Right?
And we're like, how come nobody's closing that angle?
No. We need to get speed on defense. But that was a game that I think Sark schematically gave his team enough of an advantage where they won that game.
Yeah.
That may be the last. I'm not saying that Sark has not. I'm saying that, Sark is a bad coach or anything, but it's hard to find those specific performances where, he has actually, he won them a game with that schematic adjustment.
Right.
I can quantify it. With that aggressive mentality, I can quantify it. And I want to see that this year. I want to see that more this year. All right. Let's get to.
How far you want to see it, though?
What do you mean?
I mean, how you said, I will definitely want to see that this year. Do you think that it's going to have to be more? I mean, obviously it's going to be more than what it was last year, but do you think that this is the year where you can actually say, I see everything clearly
with
his thought process
Yes.
and where he's going because of everything that he has around him?
Yes, I should be able, in my opinion, watching the film, I should be able to identify and quantify the Sark. The Sark
total control of what he wants.
The Sark schematic advantages.
Yeah.
The Sark
Right.
cheat codes that give his team the edge.
Like we're going to see him in that play calling rhythm. We've seen it early, but
We've seen it early.
ours is more for the end of the game.
Yeah, because the beginning of the game, that's just his script, guys.
Yes.
That's his.
Yep.
He's been
Yep.
working on that
Yep.
for a week.
Mm-hmm.
He's been working on
He's
it the
been
whole
game
week.
planning for his first 20 plays.
That Sark is great, but what happens to Sark? That's Sark. What happens to Sark is he becomes Steven throughout the course of the game when his script
That's where we're
dries up
Yep.
and he's got to improvise and he's got to coach on the fly and anticipate adjustments and come up with creative counters. You only got 2 quarters to do that.
Yeah,
You ain't got a whole week to do that. You can't sleep on it.
I like it.
You can't say, I'm gonna stay up late and come up with some really good stuff. I got 4-5 hours to crush on. Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
I like
you
it.
got a halftime and you got about 2 quarters to figure it out till you get to the 4th. And then the 4th, that's when you got to close.
Okay.
You got about 2 quarters, but when your script is done in the 1st quarter, and then the 4th quarter where, hey, that's money time, and you got to go find a way to win the game, you got about 2 quarters to figure out how your opponent is adjusting to you and come up with the correct and successful counter. And that's what Sark doesn't do well, but it's okay because you can always improve on that.
Right.
That's why he's getting all these special assistants because
Yeah,
he wants somebody
'cause
to help him anticipate these adjustments.
Yep.
He shouldn't be surprised by the adjustments of his opponents. He should go, oh, man, you mean they decided to adjust by putting extra guys in the box or dropping another safety? Those should be adjustments he anticipates. And if you are anticipating those adjustments, you should have counters already ready to go and going, I knew they were going to do this. Oh, man, I'm so ready for this.
That's exactly
I got the
what
plays
I
ready
was-
to go. And that I don't see. I don't
Yeah.
see a comfort when they make their adjustments and going, he should have like a villainous laugh. Excellent. When they
thought
make
you
their
had
adjustments.
me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't have anything.
Yeah.
I got this. He should have that. He should have that confidence. He doesn't. There's a panic.
So that's why my question to you was that, but also we need to understand that Sark really believes in every play. Like, you know that if I go to this is going to be my money play. If I can
does.
go to this will be my money play.
He does believe that.
That's how I got to see it on every call. We know it's not going to work every single play because there's going to be some miscommunication. There's going to be a different route. Somebody's going to miss a block. But the scheme and what you're calling in the situation, we're just one play away from that. Oh, we saw this right here. That is what I'm looking for too.
Yeah. Someone said he did it against UTSA.
That was an interception.
It was
Changed the
Jadae
game, right?
Barron's pick that really blew the
Yeah.
game wide open against UTSA. Remember, that's a 1-score game in the middle of the 3rd quarter. Jadae Barron gets the pick 6.
Yeah.
That's what blows the game wide open. Remember, other than that, they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, they drop a 4th down
Fourth down.
conversion,
Fourth down.
a 4th and 1.
Yep.
Jeff Traylor's going for it on. Basically, the game turns when Texas gets the pick 6. Jadae Barron, that was a 1-score game until then. He gets the pick 6, and then on that next drive, if I'm not mistaken, next drive or maybe the drive after that, UTSA maybe it's in Texas territory. They try to get a 4th down, 4th and 1, and they go wide receiver screen, and the guy drops it.
They
Perfect
did.
throw.
It was.
He dropped it. It would have been a
Frank
first
Harris,
down.
man.
It was a perfect throw, and the guy dropped it. And so I said, I don't know if that was an adjustment by Sark. So I'm not trying to hate him. I'm just saying
No.
I would like to be able to quantify for you guys and go, hey, listen, this is what happened. And Sark, he was able to diagnose this, and then he was able to conjure up and come up with this really creative adjustment, and that's why they won the game. I have not said that in a while. That's all.
Yeah.
And UTSA is not an example of that. And neither is Baylor. Remember, he tells you based in Baylor, I decided to give it to Bijan and give it to Rojo. That's not necessarily a schematic adjustment. That's just common sense. And did the same thing in the Iowa State game. It's just like, all right, you know what? None of my stuff is working. Versus 3 high, 3 down. They whipping me. Bijan and Rojo, can y'all win this game for us? Yes, sir, we can. And you don't have that anymore. So that's what I'm saying. I need him to go win it. Washington was a perfect example of it. He should have been able to give Texas a schematic adjustment good enough to win that game. They were right there the whole time.
But man,
Washington never pulled away.
And they had to drop the touchdown though. I mean, there were some plays that was missed because of drops.
Okay.
He would have been there. But I agree with you. But there was some plays that if you go back.
So I guess Washington didn't have any bad plays?
No.
My point.
But I'm saying that missed opportunity.
I know, but it happens on both sides.
Yeah.
Trust me, Washington's like, dude, we had like 4 or 5 missed opportunities too that we could have cashed in on.
Iowa State could say the same thing.
Exactly. Like, we can go ahead and trade excuses, but they're like,
yeah.
And everybody's got
Should've
one of
been
them,
throwing the ball
right?
to
We
Jay
know what
Witt
those
with
are.
a busted hand over there on the other side.
Like, so like I said, it's the no excuses to it. We can't be like, well, remember, if he didn't drop that pass, if he didn't got that sack, come on. We have to get past that now.
Yeah.
For this year. We can't go, man, he got that sack. We'd have won that game versus Bama. It's like, yeah, but if butts, candies, and nuts.
Yeah. We're on to the next. We're on to the next, and we're going to see it this year.
Yeah.
I'm still riding and saying we're going to see it.
I am too, but I'm just breaking it down.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some Astros and Angels discussion on the other side. We'll talk Major League Baseball and the big storylines for the Major League Baseball
and we
second
got
half
some
as well.
news talking about the Rangers as well. We just had the conversation and the proposal of what has been in Bleacher Report. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Nice.
Yeah.
All that and more right here on Ball Don't Lie, 104.9 The Horn. Welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. 512 Friday edition of Ball Don't Lie. That's when my man Patrick, the Idillionaire, plays jams from local bands and artists. Very talented human beings that you have a chance to catch live right here in the ATX. Who are we jamming right now, Patrick?
This is Empty Trail, and they are playing Saturday at the Hot Spots.
Oh, I like that. Empty Trail. I'm sure it means something very, very existential and deep. Yeah, something provocative. But I like that, though. Check out my man Patrick's suggestions, I should say, at hornfm.com for 512 Friday. You also can go up there and you can get any of the interviews that we had at Big 12 Media Days that you might have missed. Craig Way with Steve Sarkisian, Craig Way with Quinn Ewers. Craig Way actually interviewed everybody. The whole crew that was up there. So you can go check that out at hornfm.com or go to the YouTube page at The Horn Austin on YouTube, and you can watch all of those videos as well.
You can also see our interview with X-Man as he was talking as well.
All right.
And I think the interview with Mac Brown that Craig
That's
has
right.
today is up there as well.
That's a lot of good stuff on there.
That
Go
is
check
a
it
lot
out.
of content,
Yeah,
people.
just go kick it on hornfm.com for a while. Okay. Shohei Ohtani will be on the mound facing the Astros tonight when they face off against the Angels. Angels have been struggling as of late. The Angels actually in the midst of a losing streak going back to before the break. They had, I think they had just won one of their past 10 games, and they had been swept by the Dodgers and the Padres. That is not for lack of effort and excellence on the part of Shohei Ohtani. He is leading. He's leading the Angels in batting average, OBP, slugging percentage, OPS, home runs, leading the league in home runs too, RBIs, stolen bases, ERA, WHIP, strikeouts.
Pick something. He's got it.
Just name it. He's also leading the majors in home runs with 32 and opposing batting average. I like this with 189 opposing batting average.
Yeah.
He's a
freak.
must-watch television.
Yeah,
man.
he's a freak. And tonight it will be he'll be batting second in the lineup. Obviously, they don't have Rendon. They do not have Trout. So Trout is out. And then you sit over here and you look at the Astros. You just told us that Altuve is out, but they have enough in the lineup. The only problem that I'm having, too, because they're supposed to do rehab stints were supposed to start today for Alvarez. Alvarez was supposed to go down to what's the
Sugarland?
Sugarland.
The Space Cowboys?
The Space Cowboys. That's where I was going. The Space Cowboys, but he's not going to go today because he has an illness.
Okay.
So he's not going to start his rehab tonight, so he'll probably end up having to wait either tomorrow or start it a little bit later this week. But those are some of the people that they need to try to get back, because if they're going to try to catch the Texas Rangers before Ohtani gets there, this is going to have to happen now.
Not happening. Speaking of, because now they're in fourth place, right? The Angels are seven behind their Rangers, and now they're in fourth place.
Yep.
Now, real quick before we get to this Ranger story, Shohei Ranger story that you want to get to, I love this stat. Through the first half of the season, Ohtani has been worth 6.5 wins above replacement. So that's his WAR. 4 as a hitter and 2.5 as a pitcher. That projects to him having 11.6 wins above replacement for the full season. If he does go over 11 wins above replacement, he'd become the first player to do so in more than 2 decades. Pedro Martinez is the last pitcher to reach that threshold. He had 11.7 wins above replacement in 2000. And Barry Bonds, the last such position player to do it, had 11.7 wins above replacement in 2002. If Ohtani gets to 12 wins above replacement, which actually is realistic because he is such a freak, that would put him in even more rarefied air. Since integration, the only pitchers to post a 12 wins above replacement season were Dwight Gooden in 1985 with 12.2, Steve Carlton in 1972 with 12.1, and the only position player to do so, the great Carl Yastrzemski.
Yes.
12.4 wins above replacement in 1967. That is what kind of class right now that Ohtani is in, and that is a very rarefied small class of guys.
No doubt. No doubt. Very
unbelievable what he's doing, man.
And you can sit there and look at what it all means, but the fact that he's a pitcher and a hitter, he is the ultimate weapon right now.
Yeah, he is.
Because he's
In
performing
sports.
at sports.
In sports, not just baseball.
For sure.
In sports.
For sure. There's a little comet that we're seeing from afar that's trying to come into orbit right now, and that's my man Wemby. But over the top, this is the ultimate weapon right here.
You agree?
Yeah.
Can the Rangers? Can we ask Jared Sandler? Can the Rangers acquire the best weapon in sports? Is that possible?
There is a possible, and there's a proposed trade that has been thrown out there, and this was on Bleacher Report published that it said the Rangers will get DH and right-handed pitcher Shohei Ohtani. The Angels will get Evan Carter, who's the number 8 prospect in the minor leagues in Major League Baseball minor leagues right now, where he's the prospect. Luis Angel Acuna, Ronald Acuna's little brother, he's a shortstop. He's the number 60 overall prospect.
8 and 60.
And right-handed pitcher Brock Porter, who's the 83rd prospect in all of Major League Baseball. So when you sit here and you look at that and you say, wow, could this be something that could be entertained? And everyone's like, I don't know if that's enough. Well, the only reason why it would be enough is because you're not guaranteed that you're going to get Shohei Ohtani.
It's just he's a rental.
Yeah, he would be a rental, and you don't.
So the price is for a rental, not that's what you got to think about, and that's why it's not that bad.
Yeah. So when you look at it and you're looking at the numbers, number 8, number 60, and number 83 overall prospect in Major League Baseball, you kind of like, this is the time, because Carter, he was a prospect, but he really got fired up this year. Right now, he's hitting 301, 413, and a 464 on-base percentage. I mean, that's over 2 levels. Acuna, strong season. He's in AA right now. And Porter was the top draft prospect in last year's draft. So you're getting fresh stuff right now.
Yeah.
And I saw Acuna brother. I told you when I got back, I think Ronald Acuna's brother is part of the
that is crazy.
And
that's
he is an
brother?
absolute stud. He is a stud.
I think it just sunk in that that's his brother. I'm like, that's his brother.
That's his brother.
And he's killing it right now.
Yeah, he may be in Round Rock here soon. I know.
Wow.
I know we were talking to some people, and they thought Carter would be up here pretty soon too. Might want to entice yourself and say, let's go ahead and do this.
Yeah,
I'm not above it. I'm not above it.
That is that's interesting. And for a rental, you think that's enough value? It's a value in return
because you're not guaranteed.
Yeah, it's a rental to put you over the top for the season.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm down with that.
Man, I'm some Rangers fans. I'm praying and I'm hoping to the baseball guys that y'all get him.
Yep.
Well, I mean, as an Astros fan, I don't think the Astros are in a position to make a move. So,
no.
Hey, I'm all about now having better stuff to talk about, more entertainment. We got Wemby in San Antonio, keep the storylines pumping, and we can get Ohtani down there in Arlington and D-Town, keep the storylines pumping for the Rangers.
Yep.
I'm all about it.
And I'm looking at it too. You start looking at all these other teams, and I know we got Atlanta Braves fans that firmly believe that the Braves are in play. I agree with you. The Braves are definitely in play. But what are they, again, are you willing to do it? Because all rumors seem to believe that Shohei Ohtani wants to be either in New York, but really wants to stay on the West Coast. So that is another factor. You know who won't get him? The A's.
Yeah.
Because they ain't got nothing.
They don't want him. All they want is Vegas.
Money.
Yeah, all they want is
right.
Vegas right
That's
now.
right.
All right, we'll come back. We'll wrap it up, put it in the oven, let you know what's on tap. Oh, real quick, this stat, we talking about wins above replacement. Love this texter. He says, Rod, in 1972 when Steve Carlton went 27-10, the Phillies' overall record was 54-108.
Yeah.
So he won 50% of their wins. Damn.
Yeah, he was
That's
dope.
That's wins above replacement right there.
Yeah, the lefty
thanks
could
for that
bring it.
texter. All right, we'll come back, wrap it up, put it in the oven, let you know what's on tap right here on Ball Don't Lie on 104.9 The Horn. All right, welcome back to Ball Don't Lie right here on 104.9 The Horn. Getting ready to wrap it up and put it in the oven. Before we do, we'll let you know what's on tap. Hard, you were just talking before the break about the Braves.
Yeah.
Because that's your team right now.
Yeah, they hot. They hot.
They are hot.
They are hot.
Ronald Acuna Jr., who we were just talking about too, he's hot. So I didn't realize this.
Yeah.
He's on pace to set his own kind of freaky record. You brought this up earlier in the season, so I'm just trying to give the update basically. He is on a legendary pace with a 21 home run, 41 steal first half. He's on pace for 38 home runs and 75 steals over the full season. That would give him the opportunity to be the first in the 40-70 club.
Yeah. Only one.
The only one.
Only one.
Ricky Henderson had 28 homers and 70-plus steals in 1986.
Yep.
He's the closest.
Yep.
Even the 30-70 club is empty. There's only a 28 70-plus club.
That's why I said he was a freak. He's a freak. That's why when they said you can only throw over twice, he takes full advantage of that. He's another X factor.
That is crazy, and they're on pace. I guess basically the Braves are on pace to be basically lead the majors in home runs.
Yeah, they're swinging that thing.
Like 270.
They hit a grand slam in the first inning already today.
That is freakish, man.
Matt Olson with number 30.
That's must-watch television
It
too.
It is. They are fun to watch, and our man Chipper Jones told us that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Go to hornfm.com. If you miss any part of any of the shows, go there. What you got on tap tonight?
I'm gonna watch some more quarterback.
Oh, that's right.
Outstanding.
You know what? Maybe we're going to check that out, too.
You need to check it out.
I might check it out. I'm going to watch the first episode of the Netflix quarterback documentary. What you got on tap, Patrick?
Astros Angels and Summer League. Spurs play at 8 o'clock. Serge Jabari Rice is debuting tonight for the Spurs.
Yeah.
Marcus Carr started the last game for the Suns. They play at 9:30. Timmy Allen plays for the Grizzlies. They play at 10.
Nice.
Patrick just added like 3 things to my list of things I got to watch tonight.
I can't focus.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, the Revolution not be televised. Talk about it right here on Ball Don't Lie. We love you guys. We mean that. Take care of yourselves. More players. Take care of each other. Peace.